Ready.
Good afternoon, everyone. We will officially open this meeting, the Illinois Board of Review, for today, November 9th, 2023. As per our normal procedure, everyone has been muted except for the board itself, so that we can cut down and eliminate the prospect of background noise, and that's become fairly distracting. We will introduce ourselves, including the other panelists on the screen, before we get started. I would advise everyone listening to pay close attention to addresses as they're read off. So if your address and or case number is listed as moot or moot complied, that means that your matter has been resolved for today. If you need information as to what that really means, please call the administrator's office, and please do not interrupt us while we're trying to hear other cases. Also, just inform everyone, all appellants particularly, that this is a formal hearing with a recorder, a reporter, so that we can't speak over everyone. Each person must be recorded, so please don't interrupt as someone is speaking. We'd ask you to present yourselves as you would in any normal federal or a local formal hearing, meaning you can't be in bed, you must be dressed properly, no hats, no eating while you're in the hearing. This is a formal proceeding. Again, we will now introduce ourselves to everyone. I'm Kenneth Woodson, Board Chair. Mr. Pincus?
Ralph Pincus, Board Member.
Roger S. Tennant, Senior Board Member.
Beverly Penn, Board Member.
Ken Washington, Board Member.
Brian McSherry, Board Counsel.
Richard Wade, Board Administrator.
Thank you. We will now hear from the City of Philadelphia. I suspect that they will have a list of cases that have been resolved or otherwise resolved in some fashion. Who's representing the city in this task?
Good afternoon. Amy Skiles on behalf of the City of Philadelphia.
Good afternoon, Ms. Skiles. What do you have for us?
Good afternoon. So I will begin with number 3, HA 2022-00-2093-5698 Rising Sun Avenue, Crown Bakeries, LLC. There's a joint request for a continuance in this matter.
Okay. Is Deanna Silva, Esquire, representing Crown Bakeries present? Anyone representing Crown Bakery present? Okay. Ms. Skiles, one issue that we have with this is the second, I think, request continuance in this matter.
Okay.
We're concerned that we need to indicate this must be heard in the next time around.
Okay.
And I do know there's an attempt to consolidate a number of other outstanding matters in this for Crown Bakeries. So is that also part of the issue here?
That I am not sure. I'm just handling Miss Athanasiadis just asked me to read her continuance request into the record. I'm not sure of the details.
Okay, but so we're going to add a requirement that it must be heard the next time around.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so moving on to case number 4, HA 2023-00-3428 at 593 Carver Street. The appellant is Patricia Clark. That is also a continuance request by the city.
So noted, we will continue that matter.
Okay. Moving on to number 5, HA 2023-00-3416 at 6525 Park Lane Drive. The appellant is William Jaffe. That matter is moot.
Moot, so noted. Thank you.
If I may, Mr. Chair, it just so happens that I see Dr. Jaffe on the screen, and I know he's a busy physician. He's also a personal acquaintance of mine. So your matter has been settled by the city with you, apparently. So I suggest you can go back to practicing medicine.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
Moving on to case number 6, HA 2023-00-3457 at 320 East Horder Street. Appellant Nicole Curtis. That matter is moot.
Moot. Thank you.
Number 7, HA 2023-00-3472, 1812 Ashley Road. The appellant is Marceline Similian. The city's requesting a continuance on that matter.
Okay, so we'll continue that matter.
Okay, thank you. Number 8, HA 2023-003465, 27 East Mount Pleasant Avenue. The appellant Chris Singler, that matter is moot.
Moot. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if I may, it appears that these cases that are involving the water department that have been requested for continuance, I don't know if you called the names, just to make sure that if any of the appellants are present, they understand that the case will be heard at a later date. They may have come on because they didn't know that Ms. Athanasiadis isn't available. Just wanted to.
Yes, the names have been called for each one of those. Most of those, though, those water cases have been rendered moot thus
Correct.
far. Yep. So we'll be again. We've called the names as we've called the case. So as anyone else comes up, we will certainly respond to them. Thank you. Do you have any more matters?
Yes, I do. Moving on, I have matter number 18, HA 2022-004749, 2815 Grays Ferry Avenue, VIP Construction. That matter has been resolved by agreement for a city affirm a $500 fine to be paid in 30 days.
City affirm $500 fine paid in 30 days.
Correct.
Already. Just one moment. We will poll the board on HA-2022-004749, 2815 Grays Ferry Avenue, VIP Construction. Per agreement, city affirm $500 fine payment within 30 days.
City affirmed per agreement, $500 fine payable in 30 days.
City affirmed per the agreement, a fine of $500 to be paid within 30 days.
City affirm per agreement, $500 fine payable in 30 days.
City affirmed per the agreement with a $500 fine payable in 30 days.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Matter number 19, HA 2022-004751 at 2815 Grays Ferry Ave, Viceroy Builders Limited. That matter has also been resolved by agreement for a city affirm $3,000 fine to be paid in 30 days.
Payable in 30 days. Okay. Just one moment. Okay. We will then poll the board regarding HA-2022-004751, 2815 Grays Ferry Avenue, Viceroy Builders Ltd. Per agreement, city affirm $3,000 fine payable in 30 days.
City affirmed per agreement, $3,000 fine payable in 30 days.
City affirmed per the agreement for a $3,000 fine payable within 30 days.
City affirm per agreement, $3,000 fine payable in 30 days.
City affirmed per agreement with a $3,000 fine payable in 30 days.
Thank you very much. Alrighty.
Moving on, matters 21 and 22 have been resolved together. For HA 2023-001985, 901 Canal Street, the appellant is Elvis Pura. The city, that matter can be marked as moot. The city will be withdrawing those violations.
Okay.
And then matter number 22, HA 2023-001986, at 900 North Delaware Ave. The appellant is also Elvis Pura. That matter will be marked city affirm with a $2,000 fine.
City affirm a $2,000 fine. This is an agreement with Elvis Pura.
Correct.
Is there a payment schedule?
We would ask in 30 days, yes.
30-day payable. Okay. Is anyone present representing that appellant, Elvis Pura?
Hi, everyone. This is Elvis.
Okay, sir, are you in agreement with that? You can concur with the city's
Correct, yes.
description of the agreement? Okay. All right, thank you. We will now poll the board regarding HA-2023-001986, 900 North Delaware Avenue, Elvis Pura. Per agreement, city affirmed $2,000 fine payable in 30 days.
City affirm per, per agreement, payment of a $2,000 fine within 30 days.
City affirmed per the agreement with a $2,000 fine payable within the 30-day time period.
City affirmed per agreement, $2,000 fine payable in 30 days.
City affirmed per agreement, $2,000 fine payable in 30 days.
Thank you very much. Okay, anything else?
Yes, a few more matters. Number 24, HA 2022-004083, 650 Fairmount Avenue, Pelco Builders. This matter has been resolved by agreement. City affirm with a $1,500 fine.
Okay. And again, I know most of these thus far have had payment terms rather. Do we want to continue that or not?
This one, it can be, I don't have to put that on the record, I don't think.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Okay, alrighty. Is Alexander Barth present? He's counsel for the appellant.
Alexander Barth, present on behalf of Pelco Builders.
Okay, sir, I just wanted to know that you concur with the city's representation?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. We will now poll the board on HA-2022-004883, 650 Fairmount Avenue, Pelco Builders. Per agreement, city affirm with $1,500 fine.
City affirmed per agreement, $1,500 fine.
City affirmed per the agreement with a $1,500 fine.
City affirmed per agreement, $1,500 fine.
City affirmed per agreement with a $1,500 fine.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, the next matter, number 25, HA 2022-004799, 824 North 2nd Street. The appellant is also Pelco Builders. This matter's also been resolved by agreement for a city affirm $750 fine.
Okay, and we will $750. Okay.
Yes, correct.
All right. We will poll the board on HA-2022-004799, 824 North 2nd Street, Pelco Builders. Per agreement, city affirm with $250 fine. My apologies, strike that, with a $750 fine.
Yes, yes.
City affirmed per agreement with a $750 fine.
City affirmed per the agreement with a $750 fine.
City affirmed per agreement, $750 fine.
City affirmed per agreement with a $750 fine.
Thank you very much.
Matter number 27, HA 2022-004053 at 3267 to 81 Almond Street. The appellant is David Lee Biddle. This has been resolved by agreement for a city affirm $500 fine to be paid in 60 days.
Well, 60 days?
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty. We'll poll the board on HA-2022-004053, 3267-81 Almond Street, David Lee Biddle. Per agreement, city affirm with a $500 fine payable in 60 days.
City affirmed per agreement, $500 fine payable in 60 days.
City affirmed per the agreement with a $500 fine payable within 60 days.
City affirmed per agreement, $500 fine payable in 60 days.
City affirmed per agreement, $500 fine payable in 60 days.
Thank you very much.
Number 28, HA 2023-002069 at 514 Parker Avenue. The appellant is AGH Property Services, LLC. This appeal has been withdrawn.
Withdrawn? Okay, thank you.
And finally, number 29, HA 2023-002262 at 2615 Latona Street. Hung Yang Lee. This matter has been resolved by agreement for a city affirm $1,500 fine to be paid in 60 days.
Okay. Payable in 60 days. Okay.
Correct.
Alrighty. We will then poll the board on HA-2023-002262 2615 Latona Street, Hong Yang Lee. Per agreement, city affirm $1,500 fine payable in 60 days.
City affirmed per agreement with a $1,500 fine payable in 60 days.
City affirmed per the agreement with a $1,500 fine payable within 60 days.
City affirmed per agreement, $1,500 fine payable in 60 days.
City affirmed per agreement, $1,500 fine payable in 60 days.
Thank you.
That's all for the initial preliminary matters. I believe some of my colleagues do have some additional things to put on the record.
Okay. I'd ask that anyone who does just use the raised hand sign and I'll call you in order. The first hand I saw was Mr. Cohen.
Good afternoon, members of the board.
Afternoon.
I am representing the city in matters numbers 15 and 16, both of which involve Image General Contractor LLC. As I emailed the board and the counsel for the appellant, Michael McElhaney, earlier, number 15, which is HA 2023-001671, is moot because the underlying site violation notice has been withdrawn by the department.
Okay, so that matter is moot.
Exactly. And the matter number 16, which is appeal number HA 2023-001673, that matter is moot complied. It is actually an ongoing notice of violations that has been marked complied. So it is unlike the other matters that Image General Contractor has here today, in that the other matters are notices for specific violations on a specific date.
Okay, is Mr. McElhaney also representing Image in that matter?
I believe he's representing Image in all matters before this board. There are two other matters, numbers 13 and 14, involving Image General Contractor that I believe will go forward today.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
We would request, Mr. Chairman,
yes, sir.
I have not had a chance to speak to Mr. Cohen. I've been working with Chris Johnson at the city for the past several months, trying to figure out what can be resolved and not.
Okay.
I would request that the other matters with Image General Contracting be continued so that I can have a discussion with Mr. Cohen to see if we can stipulate.
The city would object to a continuance of these matters, but I would speak to Mr. McElhaney in a breakout room.
Wait, hold on a second. Mr. McElhaney, you didn't put your name on the record, so we need
apologies. Michael McElhaney, McIlheney. I'm counsel here for Image General Contracting today. My client's unavailable today, so he's not here.
Okay, let's do this. Mr. Cohen, you represent the city in those other matters?
Yes.
Okay, but then we'll ask Mr. Wade. Do you have anything else to give us, Mr. Cohen, before you go in the breakout room?
Only that the city objects to a continuance, as the other two matters are ready to present to the board.
Okay, so let's do this. Would you, Mr. McElhaney, go into a breakout room, see if there's anything you can resolve before those matters are called?
Appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Wade. Would you facilitate that, please?
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty. Mr. Kelly, I see your hand.
Yes, thank you. Jim Kelly on behalf of the city. This is for number 2, HA 2022-004452 at 2200 Farley Street. The appellant is Jeremy Clark. Mr. Clark's attorney, or I guess previous attorney, and I had settlement discussions. I was under the impression that we were just waiting on a signature, and received a notice this morning that attorney is no longer representing Mr. Clark. So that settlement has not gone through, and as a result, the city had already called off its witness for today. So we would need to request a continuance of today's hearing. I believe Mr. Clark is on the call. And as far as I know, has also indicated a desire for continuance so he can obtain a new or different attorney.
Okay, I see a Mr. Clark who's muted, so we'll unmute yourself, Mr. Jeremy Clark. I believe that's the individual. Mr. Kelly?
I believe that's him.
Also, who's the new attorney of record? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know that one has been hired. I just found out about this about 4 hours ago.
Okay, Mr. Clark?
So, yes, good morning. How's everybody? So the lawyer that was representing me before was pro bono. They pulled out of the case because they said that.
Okay, but just tell us who the new lawyer is. Tell me who your new lawyer is.
I have to seek one through the city, so I have to go get a public defender in order to deal with this matter.
Okay, I can't speak for the city as to whether you're eligible for a public defender in these matters, but today, though, the request is to continue it. Mr. Kelly, would you unmute yourself, please? Mr. Kelly, you have any issues with this?
No,
I don't. I mean,
Mr. Clark riding down the street.
Well, let me ask, Mr. Clark, are you moving in a vehicle?
I'm actually pulling over right now. I was doing DoorDash as you guys were doing.
Okay, but we can't hear your case if you're moving. So if you're gonna talk to us, you got to stop and be in a safe place.
No, I'm parked. I apologize.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Washington. Mr. Kelly, your response to this?
The city does not have an objection. As I had said, the city's detective today had already been called off given the settlement. So I would be requesting a continuance to get that as well.
Okay. All right, Mr. Clark, we will continue this matter based on the city's request. Okay.
No problem.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
All right.
Wait, that was marked must be tried.
Oh, it was.
It was, yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Back up a minute, Mr. Clark.
I'm still here.
Mr. Kelly.
I'm here. Yep.
There was a proviso in our last decision that it was a must be tried because this has been continued a number of times.
I understand. Yeah. It was continued once previously by the previous attorney's request due to a scheduling conflict that the attorney had.
Okay.
I don't have my witness today.
Okay.
And as far as I understand, Mr. Clark does not have an attorney.
Okay, let's do this. Mr. Clark?
Yes, sir.
We've continued this matter. This will be the second time. The third time will be the last. This is the last time we're going to continue this. And so you have to come prepared to prosecute this matter with your attorney. If you don't, we will make a decision based on the facts that are put to us at that time. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Kelly, just be aware that we will make a decision at the next time this comes up. This must be heard. We will not provide any additional exceptions.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Mr. Rotter.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Leonard F. Reuter for the city of Philadelphia. I believe the attorney on number 17, HA 2022-004854, attorney Andrew Chigonis, had effectively requested a continuance of this matter. The appellant is John Foltz. The city doesn't object to the continuance. I have no idea of the history of the case. I don't know if it had been heard had been before the board before. So I just wanted to know if the board was going to grant that.
Yes, we've noted in executive session that we will continue it.
Excellent. I do also have another matter, number 23 on the list, appeal number HA-2022-005091. Appellant Infinite Enterprises LLC and Dane Rowland, who I assume is the principal. They are represented by Harry Cook, who I believe had to join by phone today. We have reached a settlement agreement. I sent a copy of the agreement to the board. We've actually just amended that, so I will, after the hearing, we will provide the board with a revised agreement. But the terms of the agreement are that the appellant agrees to an immediate suspension of the license of their license for 90 days, beginning immediately after the hearing.
Okay.
And in addition, the payment of a $7,000 fine to be payable in 60 days. The agreement that we sent to you was said 30 days, but we're allowing that to be paid in 60 days. And Mr. Cook should be on the line.
Okay, Mr. Cook, are you present? Mr. Cook, if he's muted, please unmute him.
He's here by phone. I don't know.
I don't see. Well, okay. We will read it into the record. HA-2022-005091, 9402 Meadowbrook Avenue, Infinity Enterprises, LLC, Diane Rowland.
So,
Well, per the agreement, immediate suspensions of license for 90 days with a $7,000 fine to be paid in 60 days.
and all violations affirmed.
Yeah, city affirm.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me restrike my last comments. Let me restate the agreement. Per agreement, city affirm, including an immediate suspension of license for 90 days and imposing a $7,000 fine to be paid in 60 days. Mr. Pincus?
Yes, I just want to correct, I believe it's Infinite Enterprises.
Infinite, my apologies. Yeah.
And it's Dane, not Diane, D-A-N-E, Roland. The terms I understand are there's city affirmed, which I vote for, with an immediate suspension of a license for 90 days, a fine of $7,000 payable in 60 days.
City affirmed per the agreement with immediate suspension of the license within a 90-day period, with a $7,000 fine to be paid within 60 days.
Yes, Mr. Tin, I just want to be certain that the license suspension is immediate and will last for 90 days.
Yeah, I thought I said that. I'll start again.
Yeah.
City affirmed per the agreement with immediate suspension of the license for 90 days, with $7,000 fine to be paid within 60 days.
Thank you.
Thank
City
you, sir.
affirm per agreement, immediate suspension of license for 90 days, $7,000 fine payable in 60 days.
Thank you.
I concur with the chairman.
Thank you. So that's an affirmative vote. Okay, thank you. What do we have next? Let's see. I don't have any other hands up. Is there anyone else before I raise several issues raised by the board itself?
Just very quickly for the record, I did receive a message from Mr. Cook. He is present. There seems to just be a problem with his hand being raised, but he's fine with everything.
Okay.
So
all right, we'll note that for the record. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Let's see.
Mr. Chairman.
Here. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'm here.
Oh, good. Thank you. It's Mr. Pettit who's checking in. He's now part of the proceedings. The board member. Thank you, sir. Just quickly reviewing my list here. Who's representing numbers 26 HA-2023-002203? That's 2423 North 7th Street. JPL Construction is the appellant.
Good afternoon, Board. Dejanay Davis on behalf of the City of Philadelphia.
Good afternoon, Ms. Davis. We have a note in our records that there was a request for continuance for lack of legal counsel. You aware of that request?
That was from the last hearing. This hearing was continued to this hearing to allow appellant to obtain counsel.
Okay.
That's correct.
Already. And is anyone here representing JPL Construction, Inc.? Anyone representing JPL Construction? There's quite a few muted. Ms. Davis, have you had any conversations with legal counsel for JPL?
No, I have not.
Okay, we'll call it in order and we'll see what happens then. Thank you.
Right.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
This is Attorney Sherman Smith for 1523 North 17th Street, HA 2023-002414.
Yes.
I have a witness that has to pick up his daughter. He's a master plumber regarding a defective lateral. And I'm not sure where we are on the list, but I was hoping that we could somehow hear the witness before he has to leave.
Okay, well, we received a notice that there was a continuance request in this matter. Yes, we did get a notice from the city. The water person representing the water department requested a continuance. Did you
I was never notified of that. And is there someone I can contact to try to discuss this and potentially resolve it?
Okay. Who's representing Ms. Skiles?
Yes.
Present. I know that you read the list earlier. You did not include this one, but I think this is another one of those water cases that Ms. Athanasiadis had requested continuance.
I'm sorry, which
number 30.
Number Oh, if that's yes, if it is a water department case, we are requesting a continuance today.
Okay, let's do this. The attorney representing the appellant would like to speak with someone. Would you make yourself available and put your contact information in the chat form?
Sure.
And Mr. Smith, would you mind checking the chat and then checking in with Ms. Skiles?
Absolutely.
Okay, now one, Mr. Smith, I just
Yes.
wanted, Mr. Smith, just one additional matter, just want to raise with you. We have a timeliness concern, so when we hear this, we will be raising the timeliness matter, so you need to speak with your client. There's a 30-day requirement of appeal from notice of violation.
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, so for today's record, we'll note it as continued. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Washington, you had something you wanted to raise regarding this?
No. I was just wanted to make sure that we did make note of the timely issue.
Okay, thank you. Okay, does anyone have anything else before we move on to hear cases today? No, I think that's it. Alrighty. Let's go back up to the top then, and Mr. Wade, why don't you call the first case?
This is case number 1, hearing appeal HA 2022 005005 3820 Rose Hill Street. KHUE win.
Okay, and an attorney representing that matter is Christopher Lombardo, who's representing the city.
Good afternoon, board members. Jim Kelly on behalf of the city.
Okay, is Mr. Lombardo present?
I'm present, sir. Hello. Good afternoon.
Sir. Would you mind pronouncing your client's name for us correctly?
Sure. It's Khue, and the last name is Win. The G is silent.
Okay, so spell that for the court reporter.
No problem. Again, Khue is the first name. Her middle initials T as in Tom. Her last name is NGUYEN.
Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Kelly, you have any witnesses for this matter?
Yes, I have Detective Mark Flacco is on. He will be the city's witness today.
Okay, is he present to be sworn?
Yes. I believe he's muted, but he is here.
No, I'm unmuted. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Detective, raise your right hand so that you may be sworn, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
I swear.
Okay, thank you. All righty. Okay, the way we proceed, Mr. Lombardo and your client, so you're aware, Mr. Kelly will put on his case with his witnesses. You may cross-examine, after which you have an opportunity to put your case on. And of course, the city will have cross at the end. There will be final argument and the board will vote. Okay? Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Kelly?
Thank you. I just wanted to inquire, is Mr. Lombardo's client present? I'm not sure if I'm missing her on the screen or...
Is she required to be present?
I was just asking.
No, she is not required to be present. If you can represent and put the case on without her, that's fine. But we would not, we would ask you not to testify.
No, I'm not testifying. I simply have an exhibit and that'll be the gist of it.
Okay, all right. All ready, Mr. Kelly?
All right, thank you. Detective Flacco, can you state your name for the record, please?
My name is Mark Flacco, M-A-R-K, F as in Frank, L-A-C-C-O.
And where are you currently employed?
Neighborhood Services Unit in Philadelphia Police Department.
And how long have you been with the Philadelphia Police Department?
28 years and 4 months.
And what's your current title?
I'm a detective.
Okay. What assignment are you detailed to?
Right now it's environmental crimes, short dumping investigations.
And how long have you been doing that job for?
4.5 years.
Okay. And what are your primary duties and responsibilities in that role?
We go out and sit surveillances looking for people short dumping, which is large amounts of debris on the highway around the city of Philadelphia. We also use the police department and streets department camera systems to watch locations that we know to be short dumping regular locations, get information from those videos and or our personal observations, investigate the issues. If we can make an arrest or put out an arrest warrant, we will. If not, and well, also we issue a notice of violation fines.
So in the course of your duties, did you become aware of a short dumping incident that took place November 7th, 2022 at 3820 Rose Hill Street?
That's correct, I did.
And how did you become aware of that?
Through the camera system, the police camera system.
Can you explain how that system works?
There's cameras set up all over the city. And they're controlled by the real-time crime center in the Philadelphia Police Department, or that's where all the information is taken in through. And then I have access to different cameras. The cameras record, and we can either watch live and control the cameras, or we can backload up to from 30 days old video and load them into an evidence program that stores the video.
Do those cameras record 24/7?
Yes, they do.
And are they stamped with the date and time and location?
The videos are time stamped, location stamped, and the actual camera number stamped.
And is there any sound on the camera?
Not on this one, no.
Okay.
There are very few across the city that do have sound. There are some, but not many.
Okay. And when you're referring to this one, so did you receive a video for the short dumping incident at 3280 Rose Hill Street?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So board members, I have a video. If you just give me a moment just to pull it up.
Yes.
It's roughly 1 minute in length.
Okay.
Just give me one moment.
Okay.
Thank you. And if I can just share my screen.
Yes.
Thank you. Can you let me know if you're able to see what's on the screen currently?
Yes.
I'm going to
Yes,
pause
sir.
it and rewind to the beginning. I just wanted to make
Sure. Yeah, it's all visible.
Okay. Detective Flacco, what are we looking at here?
You're looking at a view of the camera located at Rose Hill Street and Westmoreland Street. It looks south down Rose Hill Street.
And what's the date and timestamp for this video?
November 7th, 2022. And the time is 9:21 in the morning. And the camera number is 25-082.
All right, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and play this video. It's about 1 minute in length. Okay, that's the extent of the video. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Okay. So Detective Flacco, how did you receive this video?
I received information from the Streets Department that they had caught this incident on the video.
Okay.
And it was uploaded into the system.
And what kind of items were dumped by the individual in the video?
There are 4 trash bags,
Okay.
3 white and 1 black.
All right. And were still photographs also taken from that video?
Yes, there were.
Okay, I'm just gonna ask to share my screen once again. All right. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going to scroll down to what I believe has been marked as City's Exhibit 3. Starting with photograph 1. Detective Flacco, can you please tell us what we're looking at here?
Yes, that is the vehicle, a Toyota Sienna, Pennsylvania tag JVT 3365 that pulled up and parked at that location. A male then exited the vehicle, opened the rear hatch, and emptied the 4 trash bags onto the highway.
And are these videos, I'm sorry, are these photographs kept by you in your office?
Yes, they are.
All right. Scrolling down to the next photograph, photograph number 2. What are we looking at here?
There's a still of the male carrying one of the trash bags over to the sidewalk.
And finally, photograph 3.
Is a picture, a still photo from the video of the 3 white bags and the 1 black bag on the highway.
Okay. So once you received the video and photographic evidence, what did you do in your investigation?
I turned around and accessed the portal system, which is a state system controlled by JNet and state police and Pennsylvania Bureau of Motor Vehicles. And I ran the license plate from the van through that system to obtain an owner.
What happened from there?
Well, at that point, it gives you vehicle information, registration information, the owner's information, and a photo of the owner. From the video, I knew that the owner of the vehicle was not the person dumping the trash bags out of that vehicle.
How did you tell?
Oh, the owner of the vehicle is a female.
Okay. And roughly in age?
Give me 1 second, please. Um, 20, hold on 1 second. Give you exact age. "28 years old."
Okay. So obviously not matching the person from the
description.
video, is that correct?
Correct. It's not. It was an older male removing the bags from the vehicle.
Okay. So is today's appellant Miss Wynn? Is she the person that was identified as the owner of the vehicle?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And in your investigation, were you able to uncover the identity of the individual from the video, the gentleman?
No, I was not.
Okay. Have you had any conversations with Miss Wynn?
No, I called and I think I left 1 message and never got a return call.
Okay. So for this case, did you issue a notice of violation?
That's correct, I did.
Okay, and I'll just direct the board's attention to City Exhibit 1, which I believe should be on the screen now. What are we looking at here, Detective Flacco?
You're looking at a notice of violation from the city of Philadelphia for dumping debris. It has the offender's name, our police, her address, our police DC number or district control number, the date the notice was mailed, the location of the occurrence. Then it gives a short citations of the sections that were violated, the description of what was dumped, and the description of the vehicle. And then there is a fine, $5,000 for each item, which 4 items total to $20,000.
Okay, and at the top left of the page, who was the notice of violation issued to?
Kuhn Nguyen.
Okay, and why was the notice of violation issued to her?
Because it's her vehicle that was used in the dumping. And under the statute, it is owner or operator of the vehicle.
As far as you know, is that part of the code? The Philadelphia
Yes.
code? Okay. And board members, finally, I'm just going to direct your attention to, I believe it's City Exhibit 5. Excuse me, Exhibit 4, which is the Philadelphia code. The
Okay.
sections that were cited. Detective Flacco, is what you're referencing part that's highlighted here in sort of the middle of the page? No
Yes,
owners or
under
operators?
section 3 or subsection 3, yes.
Okay. And is that why the notice of violation was ultimately issued to Miss Nguyen?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And how did you arrive at the $20,000 fine mark?
It's $5,000 for each item over 5 pounds in weight. And since there were 4 full-size trash bags, that's $5,000 per bag, which gives us a total of $20,000.
And is that also contained within section 710, subsection 4, right below where we were just looking at? It's highlighted at the bottom here.
I don't see the penalty amount.
Not the penalty amount, but just does this constitute a single large item, a 5-gallon trash bag?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, they're probably close to, at least the black one's a 30-gallon trash bag.
Okay.
The white ones are probably 25s.
And that's why the notice of violation was issued in this case?
Yes.
Okay. Have you had any contact with the appellant at all since that initial phone call?
No.
Okay. And at this time, do you have any information on who the individual in the video may be?
No, I do not.
Okay. That's all that I have for now, board members. I'll stop sharing my screen.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any, if you complete your examination of your witness?
Yes, thank you for now. Yep.
Okay, yeah, so any cross-examination?
Yes, thank you. Detective Flacco, did I say that correctly?
That's correct.
I apologize, sir.
It's okay.
So you do confirm that my client, Miss Nguyen, was not the actual perpetrator or the actual person doing this alleged dumping. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and obviously this person was a male, is an older gentleman. My client is a female, and she's in her mid-20s. So it's confirmed and guaranteed that she wasn't the actual person doing anywhere in this video. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That's correct. Okay. Now you indicated you cited the code. If you want to go back to that paragraph that you indicated as to the IE owner of the vehicle, that could also be potentially liable. If you want to go back to that paragraph, I think it was number 2.
Yes, it's 3.
Do you want me to pull it up?
If you could, that'd be appreciated. Thank you, Jim. My mistake. It's actually subparagraph 3 or
yes, it's 3.
Paragraph 3. It indicates a second sentence. Yeah, it's paragraph 3. It indicates as to the owner and owner operator shall knowingly, and knowingly is obviously a very important word or description. Do you have any evidence or any independent facts that Miss Nguyen was aware that her vehicle was being used in this particular fashion?
No.
I appreciate you, Detective. Thank you.
No problem.
Anything else, Mr. Lombardo?
No, I have nothing further. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Kelly, any further witnesses?
No further witnesses. I would just have closing when appropriate.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Lombardo, your case?
I have no further witnesses.
Okay. Well, any board members, any questions from the board? of the witness. Okay, if there aren't any further questions, then I would just ask for closing argument for Mr. Lombardo and Mr. Kelly.
I'm sorry, Board Chair, would I actually be able to ask one question on redirect?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Thank you. Detective Flacco, if you could just unmute yourself, thank you. Is there any evidence whatsoever that the vehicle was stolen, was reported as stolen?
No, there is no evidence that the vehicle was stolen or reported stolen and recovered, either or.
Okay, all right, thank you. That's all that I have.
Okay, thank you very much. If there are no further questions, then we will poll the board on HA-20.22-005-005. I just want to make sure I had that correct.
Mr. Chair, before
Yes,
you
sir.
pull the board, I guess there should be an opportunity for argument.
Well, I given Mr. Lombardo expressed an interest in, he didn't have any argument to provide.
No, he said he had no.
You're breaking up a little bit. I'm sorry.
Okay, something's breaking up here. I apologize if I skipped over something. Mr. Lombardo, did you have any closing argument?
If I do, hopefully you can hear me okay. You're
Yes,
a little unstable.
we can hear you.
Now we can't.
Okay,
Speaking.
Okay.
Mr. Lombardo, we didn't hear anything.
Can I
you just
call
said.
in? Is that possible?
Yes, yes, please. We'll just
Can I call in?
Yes. Yes, you may call in.
Welcome to enter your meeting ID followed by pound.
iPhone?
No, Android.
Okay.
You entered 8632. This meeting ID does not exist. Please re-enter your meeting ID followed by pound.
They're coming through pretty clear now. You just want to.
Oh, okay. I'll just try. You know what? I'll just make sure just to get on the phone here. Okay. Could you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you.
You may proceed with your closing argument.
Is myself or Mr. Kelly?
You, Mr. Lombardo.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, again, there's Detective Flacco was forthright. I indicated that the person in the video was obviously a male, older gentleman, was not Miss Q Win, the person that was noticed with the violation. The code is clear that even if the owner of the vehicle was included, that there should be some type of factual evidence or independent conjecture, obviously, that this person or the owner of the vehicle was aware of this dumping, which obviously there was no evidence presented to that fact, and he confirmed it. So giving those facts as presented, I move to dismiss the notice of violation against Miss Q Win. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kelly.
Thank you. So the city's position is that the Philadelphia Code under section 10.7.10.1 is clear. It states that it's a violation to use a vehicle to deposit any kind of trash, garbage, debris on a city road, street, or alley, or any kind of other public place. The Philadelphia Code is also clear under section 10.7.10.3 that persons who can be found civilly liable for those violations while using a vehicle include both owners and operators of the vehicle. Under that section, the city's position is that this case fits squarely within the meaning of the code. The video, I think, is rather clear and straightforward. I don't think there's really any dispute about that. And the city is more than willing to concede that the appellant today, Ms. Wynn, is not the person from the video. That isn't and really has never been the city's contention. The city's contention instead is that Ms. Wynn, as testified to by Detective Flacco, and I believe really confirmed by Mr. Lombardo, is that she is the owner of the vehicle and under the code is the responsible party for the short dumping incident, especially in the absence of any other evidence of the car being stolen, lost, anything else that might point to somebody else as the responsible party I think that the position that Mr. Lombardo is staking out presents a problem for the city, in that if these individuals cannot be, you know, have NOVs written, then nobody will be held responsible for these violations of short dumping that occur. So it's the city's position that it's a clear violation of the Philadelphia Code. The code permits a $5,000 fine per large item. That's just how we get to $20,000. So as a result, the city's asking for a city affirm today, and I would just ask that my exhibits, including the video, be admitted into evidence.
Okay, the evidence, as noted by Mr. Kelly, is so admitted. We will now poll the board on HA-2022-005-005 3820 Rose Hill Street, Q Nguyen, Nguyen, City affirm.
City
City
affirmed.
affirmed. Sorry, Roger. City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
Thank you very much. Is unanimous vote, city affirmed. Thank you all for your participation. Mr. Lombardo, of course, you may appeal our decision to the Court of Common Pleas if you so choose. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, before you proceed, may I mention for the benefit of all of the appellants who are on the screen, I've noticed an appellant that says Marceline's phone has been in motion continuously. And on my screen, that is disruptive to watching everything. So I would only ask if in fact you are in motion or you're not appropriately attired for the proceeding at the present, that you take yourself off video. You can still hear the proceedings, but you take yourself off video so you're not disruptive as we try to watch and listen to the other witnesses. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pincus. So appropriately noted. Thank you.
Mr. Woodson?
Yes.
This is Detective Flacco. Are you finished with me? May I be excused?
Yes. Yeah, you excused unless Mr. Kelly has further need of you, but otherwise you excuse. Your case is resolved. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mr. Wade, what do we have next?
If we could recall matters 12, 13, and 14, I believe there was a settlement that was reached in the breakout room.
Okay, thank you. Call those.
I believe they all have the same disposition, but I'll call them individually.
Yes.
All right, case 12, hearing appeal, HA 2022-005211, 1712 Christian Street, Made Construction.
Okay, put the other numbers in on the record, please.
Case number 13, hearing appeal, HA 2023-001065, 1712 Christian Street, Image General Contractor, LLC. And case number 14, hearing appeal, HA 2023-001670, 1712 Christian Street, Image General Contractor, LLC.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Cohen?
Thank you, members of the board. I do represent the city on all three matters, and I just want to make sure for the record that Mr. Michael McElhaney, is here, who represents the appellants on those three matters, even though two of the appellants are separate on three of the different matters.
Okay, just confirm that on the record, Mr. McElhaney.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I am counsel for both appellants. These violations concern the same property at 1712 Christian Street, and I do represent them.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Cohen, I understand you have an agreement that we should consider?
Yes, the parties are proposing a city affirmed with a 30-day stay of enforcement agreement for each of the three. So it would apply separately on each appeal.
Okay. Mr. McElhaney, you can concur with that?
I concur.
Okay. Ready? We will do this so that's as efficiently as possible. All three matters relating to 1712 Christian Street would be per agreement, city affirmed with a 30-day stay of enforcement.
My vote is city affirmed per agreement with a 30-day stay of enforcement for all three items 12, 13, and 14 on our list today.
I'm not sure.
City affirmed part of the agreement.
You're going out, Mr. Petty. We didn't get that final. Your voice faded.
City affirm per the agreement with the chairman.
Thank you.
City affirmed per the agreement with a 30-day stay of enforcement.
City affirmed per agreement, 30-day stay of enforcement on cases numbers 12, 13, and 14.
I concur with the chairman on cases 12, 13, and 14. City affirmed per agreement, 30-day stay.
Thank you. Okay. As a general note, I apologize to all who are participating today. We seem to be having considerable amount of instability in our connection with the internet. So my apologies. Mr. McElhaney, Mr. Cohen, any further business?
Nothing further.
Okay.
Nothing
thank you.
further. Thank you very much, members of the board. Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
McElhaney.
You may be excused. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Wade.
That should bring us to case number 9, hearing appeal. HA 2023 001680-920 Washington Avenue. Mayor Abido Salih Al Halmi doing business as Stop Shop Mini Market.
Okay. Who's representing the city?
Yes, good afternoon, Amy Skiles on behalf of the City of Philadelphia.
Okay, Ms. Skiles, you have any witnesses today?
I do. I will be calling Jody Wilkins.
Okay. Is the appellant present or appellant's counsel, Sheikh Irfan Afzal?
Yes. Present.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir. Would you mind pronouncing your name for the record, please?
Sure, attorney. First name is Sheikh Sheikh. Last name Afzal is an apple. F is a Frank, ZAL, and I'm representing Stop Shop, 920 Washington Avenue.
Okay, thank you very much. Will you have any witnesses today, sir?
Just my client, no.
Okay, your client will not be testifying or will be?
He will be testifying.
Okay, is he present?
Yes.
Okay, what I'd like to do is swear both witnesses in at the same time, if I may. And so if your client is present, I'd like him to raise his right hand and then put his name on the record.
My name is Maher Al-Halmi.
Okay, and you're the individual noted in the application as the appellant, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Wilkins, would you unmute yourself and raise your right hand? Okay, sir, place your right hand up again, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you give would be the true self you got? Mr. Hamini?
Yes.
Ms. Wilkins?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. You can place your hand down. Okay, just so you understand the way we will proceed, the city, Ms. Skiles, will begin questioning and put her witnesses on. Of course, you may cross-examine them, Mr. Afzal, after which you may call your witness, and which also will be available for cross-examination. Each of you will have an opportunity for final argument, and then we will vote. Thank you. Ms. Skiles?
Yes, and just quickly before I begin, I know Marceline's iPhone, she recently turned off her screen. I just wanted to note that her matter has been continued today. I don't know if she was able to hear that at the beginning of the reading of the list, but I just wanted to kind of make a note and announce that again, that 1812 Ashley Road, number 7 on the list has been continued.
Okay, thank you. If she reappears, we will share that with her again. Okay.
Thank you.
And Mr. Wade, if you can do that at all while we're hearing this matter, please try to connect.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. All righty, Ms. Skiles.
Yes, so I'll begin with the city will call Miss Jody Wilkins. So Miss Wilkins, can you state how you're currently employed?
I'm Jody Wilkins. I'm a sanitarian supervisor with the City of Philadelphia Health Department. I oversee tobacco enforcement.
Okay. And what are some of your roles and responsibilities as a sanitarian supervisor?
I make sure that tobacco is not sold to minors. And also I check to make sure that people who have a permit to sell tobacco or e-cigarettes in the city are legally doing so.
Okay. And so everyone in the city of Philadelphia who wants to sell tobacco, they're required to get a tobacco retailer permit.
Correct.
Okay. And over the course of your duties, have you become familiar with Stop Shop Mini Market located at 920 Washington Avenue?
Yes.
And how did you become familiar with that location?
They're on the waiting list for the sale of tobacco in their district
And why are they on a waiting list?
because they're in a district that is overpopulated with tobacco retailers. It's a density cap. There that there's it is over one tobacco retailer per 1,000 residents. So the business applied for the list back on January the 27th of 2022.
Okay. And so which district is 920 Washington Avenue located in?
South District.
Okay. And as you said, there is a density cap on South District.
Correct.
And how long has South District been capped?
Since the regulation became effective, which was February the 15th of 2017.
Okay. So ever since February 15th, 2017, has South District been capped?
Correct. Yes, it has.
Have any new tobacco retailer permits been issued to anyone in South District since February 15th, 2017?
No, they haven't.
Okay. Okay, so what happens if someone applies for a tobacco retailer permit in the South District?
What that generally happens is that their business is put on the waiting list when they don't qualify for an active permit. So at the time that this application came through, we had the system where it automatically placed them. Once they applied, it was a pop-up that said that we're over the limit. If you want to be placed on a waiting list, go ahead and proceed, hit okay. It hit okay. And then once they complete it and submit it, it automatically placed them on the waiting list at that time.
Okay. And so what was that date, the date that they applied for a permit and were placed on a waiting list?
January the 27th, 2022.
Okay. And as you testified, the South District has been capped since 2017.
Correct.
So is it fair to say South District was also capped on January 27th, 2022?
That's correct.
So really being put on the waiting list was the only possible outcome for when you apply for a tobacco retailer permit on January 27th, 2022.
Yes, that was the outcome, correct.
Okay. And I will now share the city's exhibits. Supervisor Wilkins, can you see what is marked as City Exhibit 1?
Yes.
What is this document?
This is a notice of right to appeal to the Illinois Review Board that was issued by one of my colleagues. And it basically states that the business was put on a waiting list and they were denied due to that. And what the date of the notice, as well as the fact that this was a new application at the time. And the map there shows where they are in comparison to the district that they're in.
Okay. And so once an applicant is put on a wait list, they have the ability to appeal that decision.
Yes, they requested the appeal through our health.ptrd@fl.gov email address, and that's why this notice was sent to them.
Okay. All right. And so let me ask, can a tobacco retailer permit be transferred in the city of Philadelphia?
No.
So if you purchase a business at a property that currently has a tobacco retailer permit, would that permit transfer to you?
I'm sorry, repeat the question.
If you purchased a business at a property that currently had a tobacco retailer permit and you purchased that business, would that tobacco retailer permit transfer to you, the new owner?
No.
No. Okay. And on the City of Philadelphia's website, is there information about tobacco retailer permits and the rules and regulations?
Yes.
And I'll now show you City Exhibit 2. Is this a fair and accurate depiction of the City of Philadelphia's website regarding tobacco retailer permits?
Yes.
Okay. And moving down to requirements, does this requirement kind of spell out that tobacco retailer permits cannot be transferred to different locations or different owners?
That's correct. It is.
And does it also provide a link where you can search for your eligibility at any given location for a tobacco retailer permit?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And this is available to anyone to access at any time?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And so moving on, I'm to City Exhibit 3. If you did use that map tool to see if you were eligible, and you put in 920 Washington Avenue, is this what would be depicted?
Yes.
Okay. And so what is the information provided on City Exhibit 3 for 920 Washington Avenue?
Basically that location, 920 Washington Avenue, is a capped planning district, which is south. And basically it states that businesses within a capped planning district that do not lie within a tobacco-free school zone or building that intersects the tobacco-free school zone, they can apply for the wait list.
Okay.
So that link there would take them to the application, which would have done that at that time when they applied.
Okay. And so this information was readily available to the appellant when they applied for the tobacco retailer permit January 27th of 2022.
Yes.
Okay. I will stop sharing my screen now. So essentially, just to reiterate, when the appellant applied for a tobacco retailer permit, since this was a capped district, since the business is located in a capped district, the only possible outcome was to be placed on the waiting list.
That's correct.
Okay. I have no further questions for Ms. Wilkins.
Okay. So do we have any cross-examination?
Yes, board. Just the one question for Ms. Walken. Ms. Walken, if I'm not mistaken, this particular address for 920 Washington Avenue was issued a license in the past?
Back in 2014.
So it was issued. So that means this location is not capped, it's not restricted in any way because this particular location has been issued a license in the past.
The license was given to that particular owner of record at that time. Once that particular owner either gives up their permit, closes, or whatever may have you, and they start renewing, then that permit is gone with that owner. It's not related to the address, it's to the owner of record.
So Ms. Watson, if my understanding is that if the city issues a permit to one particular address, and once this person doesn't renew it, that particular address no longer, if my understanding, they're no longer eligible. It's not that particular address become capped immediately, even though the city has issued a license in the past for that.
That was back in 2014 when the owner was of record who applied. When that owner did not renew and they left, then that became an address when the regulations became effective February the 15th of 2017, then that became a capped area.
Okay.
Now, if your client was...
Ms. Williams, just answer the question as asked.
Okay, fair enough. I'm sorry.
Mr. Alfaz, anything else?
That's it, no further questions.
Okay. Ms. Skiles, do you have any additional witnesses?
No additional witnesses. I would just ask that the city exhibits be moved into the record.
So moved. Thank you. Ms. Alfaz, do you have any witnesses to call?
Just my client, Mr. Maher.
Yes, sir. Please proceed.
Hi, gentlemen. Yeah, I'm requesting from my board to issue tobacco license.
Oh, wait. Mr. Alfaz, you can't do narrative testimony. We need to respond to very specific questions from you, okay?
Mr. Maher, okay, I'm going to ask you a question, or can you answer the questions, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so this location for 920 Washington Avenue, when did you start renting this place?
November 2021.
At the time when you started renting, this place has been issued a license in the past?
Yeah, but that's what I mean, because I moved from New York to Philadelphia to open new business. That's why I heard this location had tobacco license. That's what I thought is gonna be like. They're gonna give me tobacco license, and when I get the process, they said they're gonna put you on the wait list, and they thought the wait list is gonna be maybe 1 month or 2 months. You know, that's what I rent the store, and I'm surprised. I've been like 2 years until now. I didn't get the tobacco license.
Okay, at the time when you rented the place, you were under the impression that this place that has a license before, you will also, as soon as you lease that place, you will also be granted a new license? With the impression because of this place, particular location already given license in the past before, that's why?
Yeah, that's the reason. That's where I get I rent the store. That's I thought, and also when I said the wait list, I thought maybe the wait list is gonna be like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months is okay. I start with grocery and I'm gonna I get the license. But now I've been like waiting for 2 years and I'm not making enough money to pay the rent.
So
I
how is
started. Mhm.
So how is it, sorry to cut you off, so how is it affecting your business not having a tobacco license?
I'll object to relevance of this question.
The objection is sustained. Mr. Alfaz, if you move on, please.
Yes, at this point, I have nothing else.
Okay, thank you. Any cross-examination, Ms. Skiles?
No, no cross.
No cross? Okay, if there's no cross-exam, any questions from any of the board members?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I just want to confirm that if I'm hearing the testimony correctly of, and I'm not quite sure of the appellant's name, I believe it's Mr. Al-Hami, who's doing business as Stop Shop Mini Market. I guess this is for Miss Wilkins. This was he made a new application, the license that was issued prior to let me just check here. Prior to 1/27/22 was issued to a different entity, a different either individual or entity. Is that correct, Ms. Wilkins?
Yeah, in terms of the address, there was only one permitted owner there that submitted an application in around 2014 was the last time I think that was permitted. So from 2014 to 2022, there was no other applicants that applied.
I see. So this was indeed a new application that came into the health department for a license.
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a quick question, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, I'm just gonna call it Stop Shop Mini Market.
Okay.
So I can't really pronounce the name. But did you check to see what requirements was needed for you to open up your property and to sell tobacco? Did you check and find to see what was required?
Is that the question for me?
Yes, sir.
The question was for you.
Yeah, do you mean, yeah, I check already, like I told you, when I checked about the tobacco license, that's what I feel that.
Okay, wait, I have one more question for you then. The law was passed 5 years in 2017 before you even purchased the property. 5 years before. And you say you didn't know anything about that? Is that what your testimony is?
No, when I take a look at the website of the health department, I don't see anything they explain. The wait list is they gonna put you.
No. Before you applied to get on the wait list, when you was looking at the requirements, and you saw in 2017, the law was passed with the cap on the area, you decided to apply anyway?
No, I didn't see that.
No more questions, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you. If there aren't any additional questions, then I'd ask each side to closing argument. Mr. Alfaz, we'll start with you, and then we will hear from Ms. Skiles.
Okay, so at this point, I'm asking and requesting, it's my understanding, yes, my client did apply for a new permit, but moving from a new state, moving to a state which is called Philadelphia, which is brotherly love, as he stated to me that I'm moving to a city they call brotherly love, that I should be loved by, and I moving from New York, moving to Philadelphia City with the impression that this particular location that had a permit already, and I should be granted a permit as well because I'm not getting a new place or new store. Is the same location, it's just a different person. So I'm just requesting the board, so give him an opportunity, a chance to the license to be issued for this particular business.
All right, thank you very much. Ms. Skiles?
Yes, we're asking for a city affirm today. The regulations are, not only are the regulations very clear, but the City of Philadelphia's website provides a lot of information, very helpful information to anyone looking to get into tobacco retail in the city of Philadelphia. As you saw in City Exhibit 2, the website very clearly lays out that even if there was a tobacco retailer permit existing at this property immediately prior to the sale of the business, it would not have transferred. And the website and the regulations are very clear about that. Even if there was a tobacco retailer permit, it would not have transferred to the appellant. He would have had to make a completely new application, which would have resulted in being waitlisted. The website also provides a map feature where you can search the address and you can see if you're eligible for a tobacco retailer permit. And as was depicted in City Exhibit 3, had the appellant done just a little bit of research, he would have been able to discern prior to relocating his business that he would not have been able to obtain a new tobacco retailer permit here. He's essentially, I don't think anyone disagrees on the facts. He's simply asking the board for mercy here. But I don't think there's just nothing we can do. The regulations are very clear, and we're just asking for a city affirm on this matter.
Okay, thank you very much. Since there are no additional questions for this matter, we will poll the board on HA-2023-001680 920 Washington Avenue. Mahir Abdul Saleh Al Halmi, doing business as Stop Shop Mini Market. City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirm.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
Thank you very much. Sir, Mr. Afzal, the unanimous vote is city affirmed, which means you lost your appeal. You may appeal our decision to the Court of Common Pleas. Of course, the administrator will give you information if you need it regarding how to conduct that appeal. Thank you very much for your participation. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Ms. Wilkins and other witnesses are excused. Okay.
Case number 10.
Yes, sir.
Hearing appeal HA 2023-002581 5017 North Broad Street, SRI Petroleum Corporation. Case
Okay,
number
Mr. Yeah, my apologies for cutting you off. Both those cases, the same appellant?
Yes.
It's just different matters?
I believe council can provide a little, I don't know if they're different tobacco.
What I'd like to
violations.
do, read both cases into the record, please, then we will confer with council.
Case number 11, hearing appeal HA 2023-002969 5017 through 5025 North Broad Street, SRI Petroleum Corporation.
Okay, who's representing the city?
Good afternoon, Board. Michelle Reinhardt for the City of Philadelphia.
Okay, who's representing the appellants?
Good afternoon, Board. Alexander Palmer on behalf of SRI Petroleum.
Okay, thank you. Now, given we have two different matters, Ms. Reinhardt, can they be consolidated into one hearing, or do we need to have two hearings?
There need to be two hearings because one, there's a timeline issue in order to say it succinctly.
Okay. Alrighty. Just trying to save a little time, but we will do them separately then. And so, Mr. Palmer, you agree?
I do agree.
Okay.
Yes, Mr.
So
Chairman.
we will begin with number 10, which is 2023-002581, 5017 North Broad. Ms. Reinhardt, do you have any witnesses?
Yes, Ms. Wilkins, who was just sworn, is the witness for the city.
Okay, I'll need to swear her in for this purposes. Ms. Wilkins, are you present? Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. Sir, Mr. Palmer, do you have any witnesses?
I do. The owner and operator of SRI Petroleum, Mr. Srinivas Rakoti, who's present in the Zoom.
Okay, Mr. Sakoti, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give be the truth so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. We will proceed with Ms. Reinhardt, and then after which, of course, sir, you may cross-examine and present your case. Let us proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As a brief introduction, this matter is regarding a 2021 tobacco retailer permit renewal denial based on ineligibility for failure to pay fees. I'd like to call Ms. Wilkins as the city's first witness. Can you please introduce yourself?
Jody Wilkins, sanitarian supervisor with the City of Philadelphia Health Department.
And how long have you been in this role?
Over 12 years.
And what are your duties in this role?
Overseeing tobacco retailer permit applications for the sell tobacco and e-cigarette products, along with selling tobacco to minors, overseeing that enforcement as well.
Okay, and in the city of Philadelphia, is a tobacco retailer permit required in order to sell tobacco products and e-cigarettes?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen. With what has been previously marked City Exhibit 1. Are you able to see this?
I can see, yeah, now I see it.
Okay. I am showing you a letter that is dated May 8th, 2023. Can you please tell us what this letter is?
Is a letter of denial for the 2021 tobacco retailer permit for Cherie Petroleum Corp. 5017 North Broad Street. And that it cites the reason for the denial.
Okay, and just to establish a foundation, did this applicant make or have a tobacco retailer permit for the year 2020?
Yes.
Okay, and are these and the records that we're going to show later part of the records kept in the ordinary course of the city's business?
Yes.
And did you review the file in order to prepare for today?
Yes.
Can you please tell us the basis for the 2021 denial?
It was for failure of not paying food inspection fees, established fees they had failed to pay by the date of October 8th of 2021.
Okay. I am moving down to what has been previously marked City Exhibit 2. This is an email exchange between, well, I'll just say that it's an email exchange. So for the purpose of our conversation, I'm going to start at the bottom of the email exchange as it is farthest back in time and work toward the top. Starting with an email dated January 21st, 2021. Can you see this on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. This is between a Sunoco Broad at yahoo.com and Joseph Mellon at Philadelphia or phila.gov. Do you know who Joseph Mellon is?
Yes, he's my supervisor. He's a program manager for environmental health services.
Okay, and that is with the health department?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know who Sunoco Broad at yahoo.com is?
Cherie Petroleum Corp.
And what is this belief based on?
This email is based on a payment plan.
Oh, I apologize, not to
Yeah.
cut you off. What is your belief of who this email address is essentially based on? Is this based on communications that you have had over time with this email address?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. Can you tell, I'm going to read a portion of this email. Please correct me if I read it incorrectly.
Okay.
Good morning, sir. As per our conversation last Friday, I am writing this email to you. I'm going to skip down a little bit. We were served a notice of $190. We paid it and we got another $315 fee to be paid as we are struggling to operate our business with very hardship from COVID and riots. We can't afford to pay. I'm going to skip the next line. We request you please waive the fees. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. I am moving up to the January 21st, 2021 response from Joseph Mellon. This says, good afternoon. Thank you for the email. I have reviewed your inspection reports, and although I am sympathetic to your hardships as business, your establishment has failed to correct the repeat violations documented on the reports on 11/24/2020 and 12/29/2020. As a result of both inspections being non-compliant and having repeat risk factor violations present, the $315 enforcement fee will not be waived. If you would like to request a payment plan, you may respond to this email with details indicating the time frame and amount increments you would like to request. The request will be reviewed and an approval or denial response will be given. Otherwise, the fee will have to be paid in full. Failure to pay the required fee will result in further enforcement. Thank you. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. Moving to the next email in this chain. This is from Sunoco Broad at yahoo.com to Joseph Mellon, dated February 1st, 2021. It reads, okay, I respect your decision. Please give 4 installments to pay the bill. Please let me know the schedule. Did I read that correctly?
Correct.
On February 3rd, 2021, Joseph Mellon responded and said, good afternoon. Attached are the invoices for your approved payment plan. The invoice must be paid by the last Friday of each month until the balances are paid in full. Failure to make a payment by the designated date will result in further enforcement. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. Sunoco Broad at yahoo.com then responded to Joseph Mellon on February 3rd, 2021. Why it's 4 of each $127 totaling to $505. The original invoice was $315. And then on February, did I read that correctly?
Yes.
And then on February 3rd, 2021, Joseph Mellon responded by saying, good afternoon. There was the unpaid $190 reinspection invoice from 11/24/20. That invoice has been merged with the unpaid $315 enforcement invoice for a total of $505. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. At this point in time, from the health department's perspective, was a payment plan set up for these fees?
Yes.
What is the city's understanding of when the fees were due?
They were due, I believe, based on the installment plan, that they were 4 individual installments. So they were due, I believe, if I read it, I think I see it. If there was another, I think there was another one that said it was done every Friday of each month. Yeah, last Friday of every month until the balances are paid in full. So basically once a month.
Would that be for 4 months as there were 4 invoices?
Correct.
Okay. I am moving to City Exhibit 3. Again, I'm going to start at the bottom as this is an email chain. This email was sent from Jody Wilkins at phila.gov. Is that you?
That's correct.
Okay. Again, I'm going to read the relevant portions. Let me know if I read it correctly.
Okay.
Oh, who is this email being sent to?
It's being sent to Sunoco Broad.
Okay. Hi, the Philadelphia Department of Public Health has received and is currently reviewing your application for a 2021 Philadelphia tobacco retailer permit. Our records indicate that your establishment owes 4 inspection-related fees that was set up as a payment plan in February 2021 for failed inspections in 2020 by Program Manager Joseph Mellon that still has not been paid. See attached invoices. If the issue is not resolved by early next week, your application will be denied and your business will be ceased. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. Why did you send this email?
It was sent because the 4 fees had not been paid up until that point. And therefore it was a part of the review process of their 2021 permit in order to resolve the issue. Therefore we could see whether we was going to approve or deny the permit at that time.
Can the city issue renew a tobacco retailer permit while there are outstanding fees owed to the city?
Yes, they can be reviewed. Correct.
I'm sorry. I think my internet glitched. Instead of asking whether the applications can be reviewed, I'm asking whether they can be renewed.
Oh, all right. Say that again. I'm sorry.
Instead of asking whether the applications can be reviewed, I'm asking whether they can be whether the permit can be renewed for another year while there are outstanding fees.
Okay, so in terms of whether an application can be renewed, if the permit can be renewed while there's an outstanding fee going on, no, the current this 2021 permit application was in process at that point, so we were focusing on working on that application, and therefore no other application would have been renewed or reviewed at that point.
This email was sent on October 1st, 2021. By the end of the following week, were there any payments made?
No.
Okay. And as a result, did you take any action?
Yes, after I reviewed and saw that none of the payment invoices were paid, then I did deny the permit.
Okay, I am going to just scroll down. These are some invoices. Are these the invoices that were part of the payment plan?
Yes.
Moving to City Exhibit 4. I'm just going to, actually, I'll reserve this for argument. I have no questions at this time.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Palmer, you have any cross-examination?
I do. Thank you.
Okay.
Miss Wilkins, I want to go back to your last question. You said that you denied the permit for SRI Petroleum, right?
Right.
When did you deny it?
After that week, so that would have been after October the 8th.
Okay. Did you notify SRI Petroleum of your decision to deny the permit?
Objection. That letter.
Wait. Before you answer, well,
Yeah.
what's the basis of the objection, Ms. Reinhardt?
Just that it's vague. At that time, at any time, if you can clarify the question.
Well, I think it was a follow-up, so I'm going to overrule your objections. Mr. Palmer?
So I'll repeat the question then. Did you notify SRI Petroleum of your decision to deny the permit after sending that email and receiving no response?
No additional correspondence was given on the denial. The letter that I stated, that email stated it was going to be denied. That was their notification.
Okay. So I just want to clarify something. You had no further communication with Mr. Shrikoti or anyone associated with SRI Petroleum. Is that correct?
Objection. At that time. The timeline is critical here, actually.
Okay, Mr. Palmer, rephrase that, please.
Of course. After you sent that email dated October 1st, 2021, you had no further communication with SRI Petroleum or Mr. Shrikoti.
That's correct.
Okay. If I can share my screen.
Yes, please.
Thank you. This is from the appellant's exhibits, which are in some ways similar, but also materially different.
Okay.
From the city's exhibits. So please forgive the ordering, board. Just going to scroll here. Oops. So, Ms. Wilkins, if you could see my screen, well, let me ask, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Do you see this, what appears to be an email, which is marked under Appellant's Exhibit B?
I'm going to object here to relevance. This is regarding the 2022 permit that is not at issue in this particular appeal.
I will sustain it. Mr. Palmer, we're working on 2021 at the moment.
Yes, I understand. Pardon me, if I could unshare my screen, and if I could have the board's indulgence for a brief moment. Okay. So, Mr. Chair, if I can actually reshare that exhibit, because I believe it is critical, and if I could argue to Ms. Reinhardt's objection.
Well, I've already ruled that, in fact, we're arguing around the 2021 matter. And the questioning thus far has been specifically on 2021. So if you're going to raise a new matter, then you can do that in direct if you like, your presentation.
Understood. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Then I will stop sharing my screen. To your knowledge, Ms. Wilkins, did SRI Petroleum pay those the invoice owed to the city for its food-related fees, food inspection-related fees?
Again, I'm going to object just to ask when the question is. Like,
Yeah, okay, so noted. Mr. Palmer, please be more specific in terms of what we're dealing with now. The dollar amount, which is, I think, has been established, and also the time frame.
Mr. Chair, I'm speaking specifically to the time frame in which Mr. Shrikoti and SRI Petroleum paid the fees owed to the city. There's
And
no
no. I want you to identify the dollar amount we're talking about.
$505.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Over 4 invoices.
Yes,
which,
that have been
yes.
placed on record. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right, Ms. Wilkins.
Okay, I apologize. Can you state the question again?
To your knowledge, did Mr. Shrikoti or SRI Petroleum ever pay the fees which were owed to the city of Philadelphia related to the food inspection invoices?
Yes.
Okay. To your knowledge, when did he pay those fees?
That was after my denial.
Do you have a specific date when he paid those fees?
The date was 12/16/21.
Okay. Okay. Do you know what prompted him to pay those fees?
objection. That's call for speculation.
Yes, sustain.
Understood. Ms. Wilkins, in what form did you, I'll withdraw that question. I have no further questions for Ms. Wilkins.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Reinhardt, you have any additional witnesses?
I do not. I would just like to clarify one thing with Ms. Wilkins before dismissing her.
Okay, yeah, redirect for her, so.
Thank you.
Yep.
Ms. Wilkins, I believe that you testified that you did not have any contact with either SRI Petroleum or Sunoco Broad at yahoo.com after you sent the October email. Is that specifically your response regarding the 2021 renewal permit?
That's correct. Yes, no additional communications.
For that permit year?
Yes, for that permit year.
But in fact, you did have at some point in time other communications unrelated to this permit year subsequent.
Yes, that's correct.
No further questions.
Okay, thank you.
And
Mr.
no
Palmer?
further witnesses.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Palmer?
I have no redirect based on that.
Okay. You may now make your presentation.
Thank you. Mr. Shrikoti,
Yes.
could you just state and say and pronounce your name for the record?
Yeah, Srinivas Shrikoti.
And do you own and operate SRI Petroleum?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been operating SRI Petroleum?
This year it is 16 years.
Okay. And going back to 2020, you had a valid tobacco retailer permit for that year?
Yes.
Did you have a valid tobacco retailer permit for the years prior that you were in operation?
Yes.
Okay. During 2020, and if I could share my screen here.
Please.
Apologize, board's indulgence. Did you receive an email from Miss Wilkins on October 1st, 2021 regarding payment of your back due food inspection related fees?
I did receive, but I did not see because of the overwhelming work pressure at the store because of COVID and the riots happening at the times. That's
What
the
were
reason
you? Do you typically work at your store, or do you work elsewhere and manage the store separately?
No, I work at the store, especially during that period because of lack of employees are not coming to the store. I had to work myself, like longer hours, and I did not see that particular email.
Okay, Mr. Palmer,
Yes.
would you mind locating the email in question before we begin interrogating the witness?
Of course.
So we
I
can all
actually-
sort of sync it all up so we know what we're talking about.
Of course. Pardon me. This is from the city's exhibit, which was also the same email from the appellant's exhibit. This is the email in question, which Ms. Wilkins testified to sending.
So before you, would you scroll to the top of it? Is there no heading on that? Or
Is
this
there a
part of
heading?
it? Yeah, is there a to and from? I see that. Is this an email below it part of that same email?
Correct. So
Okay.
from Jody Wilkins.
October 1st. Okay.
Yes,
All
October
right.
1st.
All right.
Did you, and just to clarify here, Mr. Shrikoti, did you see this email?
I did not see right after I got it. I missed it because of overwhelming work over long hours, like in the store. I used to have like very few, just like few hours of sleep because employees were not coming and I was servicing like the community in those like tough times.
And your business is a gas station, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and that remained open during the COVID pandemic?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I may. Mr. Shrikoti, did you receive any subsequent emails from Ms. Wilkins at the email address sunokobroad@yahoo.com?
Objection. I'm still going to ask for clarification on when.
Yes, be more specific, Mr. Palmer.
After the October 1st email, did you receive any further communications from Ms. Wilkins at your email address, which was sunokobroad@yahoo.com?
Yes, I did receive.
Okay. Yes, you did. When did you receive those communications?
December 11th of 2021. 2 months after the first email.
Board's indulgence again. Mr. Shrikoti, is this the email which is marked under Appellant's Exhibit B, the email that you were referring to?
Okay, again.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to object because This says this is regarding an application for a 2022 permit.
So noted, Mr. Palmer, we've discussed this already. We're really focused on 2021. That's what this case is about.
I understand, but if I could just understand, if I could elucidate what Mr. Stricote's understanding of this email was as it related to the prior invoices for 2021.
Well, this email is specifically 2022, though. I'm not sure how they're related. So some offer of proof as to how they're related.
Yes, I understand. Would you like it to come from testimony or just from argument?
Well, I prefer in this instance, given that you have objections on the testimony, so you need to make an argument.
Understood. So it's our argument and contention that while this email does relate to the 2021 permit.
No, you misstated it. This email is 2022.
Sorry, that on its face, it relates to the 2022 permit, that this still relates to the 2021 permit, which those fees were subsequently paid at this time after Mr. Stricote received this email.
I will sustain the city's objection. Please move on.
Understood. Mr. Stricote, you ultimately paid the fines owed to the city of Philadelphia. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. But based on your recollection, when did you pay those fines?
December 16th, 5 days after I got that email to pay the pending fees.
Okay. What year was that?
2021.
Do you recall who sent you that email?
Objection.
From December 11th.
Wait. Mr. Palmer, you asked the question about whether he paid it, and then you asked the paper, what email are we talking about?
I was talking about the email that prompted him to pay those fines.
Is this the email that was just determined by the board that it could not come in?
Well, the email itself can't come in, but his recollection of the email can certainly. There has been no ruling on that, unless there's a new objection.
I would like to issue a new objection if this is regarding a conversation of 2022 permit year.
Sustain.
I have no further questions for Mr. Stricote.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Reinhardt, do you have any cross?
Briefly, yes, thank you. Mr. Stricote, I believe you just testified that you paid the $505 that were due under the payment plan on 12/16/21.
Yes.
So it was not made pursuant to the terms of the payment plan that you entered into in February of 2021?
It is pursuant to the payment plan, but delayed because of the situation in 2020, COVID, and we were suffering like we hardly have time to review our emails and go that one. Like I was working like so many hours there.
So my question was about the payment plan itself. First of all, did you enter into a payment plan for these fees in February of 2021?
He sent the email, but there was no communication after that.
In February of 2021, did you enter into a payment plan for these fees?
Yes.
And did you make those payments required under the terms of that payment plan within the time specified?
No.
I have no further questions.
Okay, thank you. Right. Mr. Palmer, do you have any additional witnesses?
I do not.
Okay. What I would do then is invite my colleagues to join me in executive session, after which we will ask for final argument, and then we will vote. Okay.
Can I ask a question before we go
Yes.
into executive session?
Please.
I just want to make sure that the business that was being operated at 55017 North Broad Street by SRI Petroleum was a Sunoco gas station, which I guess also sold cigarettes and other food items. Is that correct, Mr.
sir.
Srikoti? So there was a gas station there that was in business at all times?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Pettit, do you have something you needed?
Yes, Mrs. Ciccone,
Yes.
during the time that you claimed that you were working too many hours because of COVID, did you receive any government subsidies because you maintained your business?
For as such as, sir?
Excuse me, I didn't hear you.
That isn't responsive, Mr. Ciccone. Please respond to the question as to whether you received any government subsidies to support your business during the COVID period.
Yeah, we received like after the COVID period, yes.
You did receive subsidies because you kept your business open.
Yes.
Is that
And did you receive those subsidies through emails?
Pardon? Sorry?
Did you receive those communications for subsidies through emails?
No, not it. The email, the subsidies were like way after all these things happened. Once we are all settled, then after the employees like started coming into place, this has all happened in 2020, late 2021 and 2022.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
I have a question, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Sir, did you continue to pay your bills to keep your building open, the fuel in the tanks for sale of your property during this time period? These
are all automated, sir. The Sunoco franchise works on like automated payments by themselves. We don't do anything manually.
The same as the fuel?
Yes, sir.
But you were there to monitor to make sure the trucks came in and delivered, correct?
Yes, sir.
You were attentive to that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. If you could meet me in the breakout room, please, for a moment. Okay, we're back on the record. In this matter, we'd ask for Mr. Palmer to offer any final argument that he may have, and then, of course, Ms. Reinhardt. Mr. Palmer?
Thank you. As the board has heard from the testimony today, and as seen in the denial letter from the Department of Health, Mr. Srikoti's 2021 tobacco license, or tobacco retailer permit rather, was not denied until May 8th, 2023. The testimony of Ms. Wilkins, which indicated that it was denied functionally by the operation of Mr. Srikoti not responding to the email, has no basis in the city code or in the health department's regulations. To that end, Mr. Srikoti did ultimately comply with the city's with the fines and fees owed to the city for his food-related inspections, which there's no question that he owed and he failed those food inspections. However, due to his extreme working conditions during COVID and trying to keep his business afloat, which was an essential business, he neglected to pay those times under the terms of the email which was sent to him. There's no question, I think, that he should have paid the fines sooner. However, he did pay the fines before the end of the calendar year, and he paid the fines in such a way before his tobacco permit was actually legally denied. So for those reasons, his 2021 tobacco retailer permit should be reinstated.
Thank you. Ms. Reinhardt?
Thank you. I am going to share my screen in order to walk through the applicable law here. Are you able to see City
Yes.
Exhibit 4?
Yes.
Okay. This is a printout of 9-631, which is the tobacco retailer permit. Number 2 shows that a permit is required to sell tobacco products in the city, as Sanitarian Wilkins testified to. And number 3 below here, I will scroll down. Please let me know if I should enlarge this so that you can see it more clearly.
Please enlarge, Ms. Reinhardt.
Yeah. Are you able to see this more clearly?
Yes, thank you.
Specifically, number 3 is just above the page break, and the terms of it are just below. So number 3, expiration, renewal, and revocation. Coming down to subsection B, renewal, any person lawfully issued a tobacco retailer permit pursuant to the provisions of this section shall be entitled to renew such permit, provided that all the requirements of this section and any other applicable requirements are met. I'm going to go down to City Exhibit 5 now. This is, again, Philadelphia Code 9-102. So this is under the same title, licenses and permits. This provides the general provisions for all licenses and permits issued by the city. Moving down to number 9. Please let me know if I should enlarge this as well, but it reads no license or permit, and I will skip a few words just for clarity's sake, but no license or permit shall be issued or renewed if the applicant is delinquent in the payment of any City of Philadelphia taxes, charges, fees, rents, or claims, or any penalty or fines related to the applicant's business for which the applicant is responsible, unless the applicant has entered into an agreement to pay such delinquency and is abiding by the terms of such agreement. As you have heard Mr. Sircoti's testimony, he did not abide by the terms of the payment plan. The reason that he was extended the additional time in order to attempt to correct the issues with the 2021 permit application was because he was in a payment plan, but he did not abide by them. As a courtesy, the city issued the October email in order to give him yet one more chance in order to try to resolve the issue. And by his own admission, he did not pay. And I'll leave that part at that. And just bring the board's attention also to City Exhibit 6, which is the public hearing report and revised regulation regarding tobacco retailing. There are extensive regulations for selling tobacco here in the city. They have been passed by the executive and legislative branches of the city. They've been upheld routinely through the courts, and they have been in place for many years at this point in time. I respectfully request the board to mark this city affirmed, as there is no question that SRI Petroleum failed to abide by the terms of the payment plan in order to address the required payments for which he was ineligible for renewal, and the city had no choice but to deny. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Having heard all the witnesses and information submitted by both sides, we will poll the board on HA-2023-002581, 5017 North Broad Street, SRI Petroleum Corporation. City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
Okay, the vote is unanimous. City affirmed, which means this appeal has been lost. Mr. Palmer, of course, you may appeal our decision to the Court of Common Pleas, and that concludes that matter. Let's move on to number 11. Because what we're doing, let's read that into the record again for clarity's sake, Mr. Wade.
Case number 11, hearing appeal HA 2023-002969, 5017 through 5025 North Broad Street, SRI Petroleum.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Reinhardt, I assume you will continue in a similar role. Ms. Wilkins, is she your witness again?
Yes.
Given the continuation of this matter, she remains under oath. And Mr. Palmer, will you be calling a different witness or the same witness?
Witness.
But I didn't hear your response, sir.
Sorry, the same witness.
Same witness? Okay, he also remains under oath then. All right, thank you. Ms. Reinhardt?
Thank you. For the purpose of brevity, I would like to incorporate the exhibits and notes of testimony into this, the record for this appeal as they were for the 2021 permit year, the case that we just heard.
So noted.
Thank you.
Okay.
I would like to call, and just as a very brief description, this is regarding the 2022 tobacco retailer permit renewal denial. I would like to recall city's witness, sanitarian Jody Wilkins.
Ms. Wilkins, please be note for the record that you're under oath.
Okay.
Can you please introduce yourself?
Jody Wilkins, sanitarian supervisor with the City of Philadelphia Health Department, tobacco enforcement.
And how long have you been in that role?
Over 12 years.
What are your duties?
I oversee the sell tobacco to minors and also oversee applications for tobacco retailer permits for the sell of tobacco and e-cigarette products in the City of Philadelphia.
Are you familiar with a tobacco application by SRI Petroleum regarding 5017 North Broad Street?
Yes, I
am. Have you reviewed the city's records regarding this case?
Yes, I have.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen. With what has been marked City Exhibit 1. Are you able to see this?
Yes.
Okay. This is, can you tell us what this letter is?
There's a denial letter for application for 2022 for SRI Petroleum Corp. 5017 North Broad Street, dated June 8th, 2023.
Okay, and moving down, can you please tell us what the reason for the denial was?
The three reasons stated was that the business does not possess a 2021 tobacco retailer permit and therefore was not eligible for renewal. Then also the business did not have a valid food license by December 26, 2021, which was the deadline given to the business to respond to our email that was sent out December 11th, 2021. And the business was not in compliance during their food safety inspections conducted on February the 24th of 2022.
Just to clarify, we have not, does this business sell food?
Yes.
And is a food license required then as a result of selling food, their choice to sell food?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Why is a food inspection important here?
Food inspections are required for the safety of the public so that they also are getting the best products that are being sold in the business, and that the actual environment is conducive to the appropriate sale and handling of food, whether it's pre-packaged or prepared food.
What what impact does non-compliance with a food inspection have on the food license?
In terms of the inspection, for the food inspection itself, for them to be in compliance is important for the food safety of the public. The food license is important because that gives them the right to sell the food that they have in their business. So if they do not have that current, then that affects their business as well.
I think I asked a confusing question.
Okay.
If I can restate, number 3 on this list says that the business was not in compliance with the food facility inspection conducted, and that was part of the reason that the tobacco retailer permit renewal was denied. Is that inspection related to having a valid food license?
No.
Okay. I think I'm confusing this matter, so can continue to move.
Okay.
You personally sent this letter, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm moving to City Exhibit 2. This again is a string of emails, so I'm going to start at the bottom in order to start at the latest in time and move closer to the current time as we go up.
Okay.
So starting at the bottom of City Exhibit 2, this is an email dated December 11th from tobacco.permit to sunokobroad@yahoo.com. First of all, do you know who tobacco.permit is?
Yeah, it's our email box that we use to communicate with retailers about their tobacco retailer permit applications.
And when you say our and we, are you referencing the City Department of Health?
Yes, I'm the primary user of that email that we use to communicate with retailers during the application process.
And there are others who also use this email address as well?
There are other staff members that use, yes.
And the to line is sunokobroad@yahoo.com. Do you know who that email is?
Yeah, that's SRI Petroleum Corporation's email.
And you know this based on your experience and interactions with SRI Petroleum and this email address?
Yes.
I'm going to read this email dated again December 11th, 2021. Please let me know if I either read it correctly or correct me if I make any mistakes.
Okay.
The Philadelphia Department of Health has received and is currently reviewing your application for a Philadelphia tobacco retailer permit for 2022. Our records indicate that your establishment does not have a current food license and also owes prior fees. Please see the attached invoice for fees and payment methods. You have 15 calendar days to resolve the issue. Once the required collective actions are made, we will review your application for further processing. If the issue is not resolved within 15 calendar days, your application will be denied. Did I read that correctly?
That's correct.
Okay. Does this email at anywhere say if you do those two things, you will automatically receive the 2022 renewal permit?
No, it does not.
Okay. Can you tell us in your own words what you believe this says?
Basically that we are reviewing your application. These are two outstanding matters, which was the fees that were not paid and the food license that was not updated at that time. Those things have to be resolved in order for us to continue processing their application.
Fair to say that they were found on just a very brief initial review of the application and not an extensive review of the application?
That's correct.
Okay. Were these fees referenced in this email paid within the 15 calendar days.
In regarding to that date versus when the payment occurred, yes.
Okay. Was the food license made current during the 15 calendar days of this email?
No, it was not.
Okay. I'm going to move down to City Exhibit 3. Can you tell us what this is?
This is a food prep and serving license issued by the LNI for SRI Petroleum Corporation.
Is this the food license that you that was referenced in the December 11th email?
Yes, it was.
Okay, I'm going to show you 1, 2, 3, 4 years of permits. Can you tell us for each one when it became effective and when it expired, starting with the first one?
Okay, so it became effective on 12/6/2019 and it expired on 4/30/2020.
Okay, moving down to the next permit. What was the effective date and expiration date of this one?
Effective April 11th, 2022 and expired April 30th of 2023.
Okay, what I am seeing here is the 2022 permit was effective as of April of 2022. That's correct?
That is correct.
Okay, moving down to the next one. Can you tell us this effective and expiration date?
This was April the 28th of 2023 and then expired on April the 30th of 2024.
And the last one, I apologize, this was circulated out of order.
This effective date is April the 25th, 2017 and expired on April the 30th, 2018.
Have you said that you reviewed the city's records regarding this case, correct?
Yes.
If there were additional food records, food licenses found, or rather, was this the extent of the records found?
Yes, these were some of the records that were found.
Were there any other food permit years that were not, that you found that were not included in this exhibit?
Yes, the food license that didn't occur in 21.
Just to clarify, did you find a food license, a valid food license in the city's records for 2021?
No, I did not.
Okay. And because you did not find one, is that evidence that it in fact was not applied for and was not issued?
It was not applied for and it was not issued. That's correct.
Okay. And board members, please let me know if you would like further clarification on the dates regarding these permits.
Just because this last one is out of order, just to go back, if you would, if we assume that 2017 effective date license is the first one, go back to the next one in order. Just quickly review those. You go from 2017, then what?
We go from 2017 to December 2019.
So there's no 2018.
Ms. Wilkins, can you confirm that?
I'm sorry, go back to the other one. I think that was the ending date from 17 to 18, but what date was that? I'm sorry.
Ending date 4/30/2018.
Okay, so 4/30/18, then the next one picks up in 2019.
Correct.
Yeah, then there was nothing else. It occurred in 18.
Okay, and then this expiration date
Oh, wait a
was-
minute, just before, forgive me, if the expiration date of the 2018 was 4/30, it doesn't pick up again until over a year, almost a year later in early 2019?
That's
Shouldn't
correct.
there be some 2018 dates connecting those two?
Yes, it should.
So that's why I was raising the issue. Was there a 2018 license or 2019 license?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. All right. And just go down to the next one, if you would. 4/30/20 is the expiration date. And you go to the next one, the 4/11/22 and 4/30/23. So there was no 20 either, 21.
That's correct.
Okay. So there are 2 years potentially.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then the last one is effective date 4/28/2023 with an expiration date of 4/30/2024.
Yeah.
So essentially, we are, as Chairman Woodson just pointed out, missing food permits for the years 2020 and 2021 and 2018.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Excuse me, just to make sure I'm on the same page with everyone. There is missing 2018 to 2019 and 2020 to 2022.
Yes,
Correct?
that's correct.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Moving to City Exhibit 4. Ms. Wilkins, can you please tell us what this is, the food facility inspection report dated February 24th, 2022?
Yeah, so this is the inspection report, food inspection report for February the 24th, 2022, that was done at 5017 North Broad Street, Sherry Petroleum Corporation. This is their inspection report.
Can you tell us generally whether the inspection was passed or failed?
Yes, if you scroll down toward the bottom. Okay, yep, keep going. So the last paragraph at the bottom that states, this inspection has revealed that the establishment is not in satisfactory compliance. Corrective action is required to eliminate these violations. Compliance status will be assessed upon reinspection. That basically states that the business was out of compliance at that time.
It further provides administrative appeal rights. Are you aware of any administrative appeal related to this inspection?
No, I'm not aware of anything.
Okay, I am moving back up to City Exhibit 2. This is picking up with the email chain that we previously discussed. On April 3rd, 2022, there is an email from tobacco.permit@phila.gov. Are you familiar with this email?
Yes, I am.
Who was it sent to?
It's sent to Sunoco Broad at yahoo.com.
Okay, I am going to read this. Please correct me if I read it incorrectly. It says, "Hi, the 2021 permit was denied due to the 4 outstanding fees that were not paid." And just to pause there, that is talking about the prior year's renewal permit, correct?
Correct.
In April 2022 here, the permit that is under review is the 2022 permit year, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, continuing to read. We sent an email on 12/11/21 to pay the fees, and the fees were paid on 12/16/21. However, the business failed their inspection on February 24th, 22, and thereafter, the 2022 permit has been denied. All tobacco and e-cigarette products have to be removed from the premises, and if no tobacco or e-cigarettes are found, the business will be ticketed and or ceased. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, so at this point in time, the 2021 permit was already denied previously, and the 2022 permit is being denied here.
That's
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Going to the next email, this is from sunocobrod@yahoo.com to tobacco.permit at phila.gov on April 7th, 2022. Is this essentially the business reaching out in order to try to resolve the issues?
That's correct.
Okay. And even though this email address is tobacco.permit, it is addressed to Good Morning Jody. Would that be you?
Yes.
Okay. And moving up, there were a series of additional correspondences back and forth, including the next one on April 19th, 2022 from tobacco.permit, wherein it is said, per our conversation today, the 2022 permit remains denied. My supervisor stated that the past 5 inspections were failed inspections, and therefore the permit cannot be approved. My supervisor told me to have you email your case, and we will forward your email to our supervisors. At present, you can submit a new application, but since the business is in the Upper North District, you will be placed on the waiting list. There are 43 retailers on the list with applications starting from 2017. You would be contacted once a slot becomes available. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Fair to say that there were additional exchanges made.
That's correct.
Did the status of the city's decision change at any point in time?
No, it did not.
Okay. And again, just to reiterate, from the denial letter, there were 3 reasons for the denial. The first one was that the business did not have a 2021 tobacco retailer permit for which it could renew. Is that correct?
Correct.
And I think we just went over in extensive detail that there was no valid food license by December 26th, 2021, or in fact, even by the email exchanges that we just saw. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And additionally, there was also the failed food inspection.
Correct.
Okay, I am going to save my remaining exhibits for argument. I have no further questions at this time.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Palmer, any cross?
Briefly,
Yes.
Miss Wilkins, if I can share my screen. This is the city's first exhibit, the denial for the 2022 tobacco retailer permit. Miss Wilkins, could you identify the date that this letter has on its letterhead?
Yeah, June 8th, 2023.
Okay. Did you personally prepare this letter in your capacity as a sanitarian for the Department of Public Health?
Yes.
Okay. Going back to city's prior exhibit of April 20th, actually, I believe it was April 11th, 2022, or April 19th, rather, sorry, 2022, from tobacco.permit at phila.gov.
I believe you're looking for the April 3rd email.
Yeah, well, I would get to that. But I wanted to start with the April 19th email, where you indicated, Miss Wilkins, that the 2022 permit remained denied. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is it your understanding that a denial is effective through an email from tobacco.permit@phila.gov, or is it through the official letter that the Department of Public Health sends to the retailer?
Objection. This is call for legal analysis.
Well, in this instance, I'd like to hear overruled. I want to hear her response to what they believe their operating procedure. Ms. Wilkins, please respond.
Yes. So all denials were done via email at that time. Then the official letter can be sent and was sent based on the case as well, an official email on the letterhead. But the actual denial of the email was the original denial. So we just was able to put everything together in that official email that was dated back in June there. But the official denial really was the email.
So why did it take so long for Mr. Srini or Mr. Shrikoti to receive his 2022 denial letter in the mail? Was there a change in the policy?
It was not mailed, it was emailed. We were at that process, we wanted to go ahead and we reviewed our operating procedures and decided that we wanted to go ahead and get sending out official letter on letterhead at that time. So we sent him the official letter at that time.
Just as a matter of the department's practice, did the department send out official denials on letterhead for all denials from the year 2021 and 2022 in the year 2023?
I'm sorry, I don't understand. This is very confusing. Objection to.
Okay, I will sustain your objection. I guess, Mr. Palmer, if you could be more specific and probably lay some foundation for where you're headed with this.
Certainly. Ms. Wilkins, I'm trying to understand, because you have previously stated that it was the department's policy to do denials only via email. I am asking why specifically it was a denial for the permit year of 2022 sent to Mr. Shrikoti in the calendar year 2023, some 14 months after this email was sent to him.
Objection. I think that was asked and answered.
Yeah, and you referenced both email. I think there was a letter and an email.
I'm just trying to understand what the lag time was, why there was a lag time.
Okay.
If the denial was effective in 2022, why send a letter again in 2023?
Understood. Okay.
I think she testified to that.
He's clarified it a bit. So, Ms. Wilkins, if you could answer that.
Well, as I stated, we reviewed the protocol and we decided to send a direct official email, a letter via email to him for this particular case. But that doesn't, going forward, that would be the case for everyone's email. If everyone's can be the official process for everyone, a letter can be done officially. We were just beginning our process here at that time. It was all sent by email within the email itself. But the letterheads, or put them on the official letterhead, that became later. So we sent this to him on official letterhead at that time.
So I can understand, Ms. Wilkins, are you saying this is a new process wherein you created a letter via email that was on letterhead? Prior to this, you just sent an email.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
All right. That's clear. That helps me. Mr. Palmer?
Certainly. So for all, and this is where I was going, for all denials that happened while the policy was to send an email, did you subsequently send out a denial on official Department of Health letterhead?
Objection. We're not talking about all program
Okay, let me,
questions for the Health Department of Philadelphia.
okay, I will sustain your objection, but Mr. Palmer, can you rephrase so that you can narrow this down a bit? More specific to your case?
Certainly. What was the motivating force to send a denial letter on paper specifically to SRI Petroleum and Mr. Stracoti? Or did you send this to all individuals who were denied their tobacco retailer permit?
This case is related to this particular business. The letter was sent to this business.
Okay, I think Mr. Wilkins, I think what we're trying to understand here is that this policy of the letterhead letter within an email did that go out to everyone who had a problem?
No.
Only to this particular
business.
just to this business.
Then why specifically was it sent to SRI Petroleum?
Say it again.
Why? What was the motivating force to send it specifically to SRI Petroleum, as opposed to the other businesses that were denied their tobacco retailer permit?
Objection. This is still very broad.
Overruled.
Other businesses that were sent their tobacco retailer.
I hear the objection. Overruled. Please answer, Ms. Wilkins, if you can.
It's related to this case. The letter needed to be sent about this case. They were suing us. We needed a letter. Simple as that.
Okay. All right.
Understood.
Anything else, Mr. Palmer?
No, that concludes my cross.
Okay, thank you. Any redirect, Ms. Reinhardt?
No, thank you.
Thank you very much. Any additional witnesses, Ms. Reinhardt?
No, I would just ask if the exhibits can be taken down from the screen that are currently up, unless they're going to be used immediately for the next.
Okay, if that's the case, then Mr. Palmer, it's your turn.
Sure. I call Mr. Stracoti.
Okay. Mr. Stracoti, please remember you're on the oath.
Yes.
Hello again, Mr. Stracoti. As we heard in the prior case, could you briefly summarize your personal relationship to SRI Petroleum and the property located at 5017 North Broad Street?
I'm the owner and operator of the location and the business.
Okay. And how long have you been the owner operator of that establishment?
17 years this year.
Okay. And you are the primary owner of the email address sunocoplus@yahoo.com?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. And if I could permission to share my screen again.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Stracoti, this, I believe you previously seen this, is marked as City Exhibit 1. Could you tell us what your understanding of this letter was or is?
Yeah, this is the denial letter sent to me in June after 14 months after we saw that email of denial, which was actually, these two cases are like very much linked, and I would really appreciate if I will be given a chance to narrate the whole story, what happened, and they are both are very much linked. And there are a lot of work.
This is a narrative legal argument being made that is not responsive to the question that was asked.
Okay, Mr. Palmer, as Mr. Palmer, we asked everyone, your witnesses, to respond to very specific questions that you asked, and that they be very limited to those questions that you asked, not narrative.
Yeah, Mr. Stracoti, if you could answer the questions that I ask. just
Okay.
to help the board
Okay.
and to present our case. Have you ever seen a letter like this before?
The same letter? No, this is the first time I got that letter.
Yeah. Do you know of, I'll strike that, I'll rephrase. What is your understanding of the denial process for tobacco retailer permits as a business owner who's been in business for 16 years selling tobacco?
There is not, this is completely, I mean, you're asking me the reason, what I think?
No, what's your understanding of the process? How does the city go about denying one a tobacco retailer permit?
In
To
this
your
particular,
knowledge.
in this particular case, my knowledge and and what we were learned in the training is, if anyone does sale to minors 3 times, more than 3 times in 2 years, that is the only reason like tobacco retailer will be cancelled.
Is it your understanding that denials come from official city letterhead informing you of your obligations as a tobacco retailer?
Yes.
Is it your understanding that a denial letter would look something in substantially in this form as on my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay. Can you briefly read the reasons why the city has said you are denied your tobacco retailer permit, beginning with paragraph 1?
Yeah. Number 1, the business does not possess 2021 tobacco retailer permit and therefore is not eligible for renewal.
So if I could ask you briefly about that.
Mhm.
Were you informed in a similar fashion to this letter of your 2021 tobacco retailer permit denial?
Objection.
Yes.
If we're re-arguing the 2021 tobacco retailer permit denial in the 2022 tobacco retailer permit denial here of this case, I would like, I mean,
Okay.
I
So
don't think that it's relevant here.
Okay, I've heard your objection. I'm overruling it because the issue of how it was processed is the issue. I believe what he's trying to get to. So,
That is
Mr. Palmer,
correct, Mr. Chair.
please proceed.
Yes. So when were you notified of your 2021 tobacco retailer permit denial?
Mr. Palmer, the issue is how, not when.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
So, okay. Let me tell. Okay. To eliminate the confusion among all, let me tell like 2 lines.
No,
of that.
no, sir.
Okay.
Let Mr. Palmer re-ask the question.
Okay.
Were you notified of your 2021 tobacco retailer permit denial in a letter similar to this?
Yes.
To your recollection, what was
May
the
8th?
Yes. Okay.
May 8, 2023.
Thank you. Continuing on to the second paragraph, could you read that?
The business did not have a valid food license by December 2026, 2021, which was a deadline given to the business in the email that was sent out on December 11, 2021. But I do have, okay, can I explain or no?
No, I'm going to ask another question, Mr. Tricoti.
Okay.
Do you recall applying for a food license in the year 2021?
Yes.
And if I may have permission to share a different exhibit.
I applied, it is approved, and but it
Wait,
was
wait,
not.
just a minute. Just a
Okay.
minute.
Okay,
Mr. Stricote,
yes.
this is marked as Appellant's Exhibit D. What is your
Chair,
understanding?
could you ask them to zoom in on that for me?
Yeah,
please?
just make it a little bit, make it a little bit larger, sir.
Understood. Nope.
That's the other, went the other way. This is the other direction.
Yep.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Stricote, what is your understanding of this exhibit?
Okay, this is the city, Philadelphia city portal, which will give the permissions existing at that particular time. And if you go down, sir, I have applied every year, and because of the COVID, they personally said on the phone they could not print and mail out all the things because of lack of staff coming to office.
Okay,
And
wait. Mr. Palmer, would you mind walking through that if you're gonna have him testify about it? We need to
Well,
see what it
before
says.
before you go on with this, would you go to the top of the document you're presenting to us, Mr. Palmer?
Of course.
That's a business license renewal form. It's not a food license. It's not a tobacco license or tobacco retailer permit. This was, what's the relevance of a business license renewal to the
that is
issue of
food-
either a food license or a tobacco retailer permit?
No, that is food preparing, serving.
No. I
license.
asked Mr. Palmer to explain why we're looking at this document.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Pincus. This is my client's understanding of, and this goes to my client's understanding of his interaction with city services during the time he was supposed to renew his food license. And this was his main interaction point. And as further testimony will show, he attempted and did renew his food license. But unfortunately, it was not registered and recorded in the city's
Objection. There's absolutely no evidence here that there was any kind of failure to record anything. That's just wholehearted argument.
Okay, well, let's do this. And Ms. Reinhardt, you have opportunity on cross. You can further engage this. But I guess, Mr. Palmer, the issue here, though, is that you didn't fully answer Mr. Pincus's inquiry, because what you're showing us is not the license itself, but the copy, a screenshot, I guess, over the portal.
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay, so tell us, this business license renewal portal, is it showing us information regarding the status of all of his relevant licenses?
Yes, there is.
Okay, so you need to walk us
status
through
of-
the whole form and sort of get us to that point.
Of course.
And Mr. Chairman, could you ask Mr. Palmer to go further to the top so we can see the date of
Sure.
this form, if it's at the top? Yeah, thank you.
That's 6/13/23. Good point. Okay, as of that date, now let's go through it and tell us what that form is supposed to say.
Yes. Mr. Stricote, you took this screenshot on 6/13/23 at 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this is your understanding of the licenses that were owned and possessed by your business, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. At this time, did you possess a food preparing and service license for your business?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is it your understanding, based off this form, that you possessed a valid food license for the entirety of your business's operations?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If you move further down, sir.
What is the basis for that belief?
Because their portal started like registering from 20 onwards, and the license term for that particular license, if you can see what is the license I'm searching for, it will show up on the top. That is food service license and my license number. That the license term is effective date 2020, to 2023, now effective date 2023 to 2024. So between 2020 and 2023, because of lack of staff, they did not enter year by year and they did not send certificates year by year. They clearly said that
Mr.
verbally
Palmer?
when we called them.
Mr. Chair, I'm really misunderstanding.
Yeah, I'm asking
Is
Mr.
it-
Palmer to
is-
be more specific in his questioning and limit the testimony. I agree with you, Mr. Washington.
But Mr. Shrakoti, did you attempt to call the Department of Public Health to obtain to verify that you had a valid food service license?
Yeah, right after we applied
Approximately how many times did you call the city of Philadelphia or the Department of Public Health to obtain that knowledge or that information?
Probably 4 or 5 times.
And you never received a physical copy of your food service license?
Mr. Chair, I'm still not understanding. Only reason I keep cutting in because if he's able to pull this down, he's able to pull down a copy of his full service license. If he's not able to pull down this copy of his food service license, he should at least be able to pull down one of his employees' safe service license.
Yeah.
This have absolutely nothing to do with the case that we're on right now.
Okay. Mr. Palmer, I guess, will you be presenting evidence, copies of this food prep license?
No, they never mailed it.
Unfortunately, no, they're not, my client is not in possession of that.
Are they available online? Do you know, to your knowledge?
Not to my knowledge, other than this form.
Okay, let's do this. Scroll down to the bottom of this form. Just go slowly scroll. So we want to see what the rest of the form shows us. Okay.
That is the remainder of the information on the form.
Okay, if you scroll back up, are you purporting to tell us? No. Just go for a moment, just down for a little bit. That summary, that license term there, down just a moment, a bit more. Is it your position that that category, that those dates reference to food prep and serving?
That is my client's understanding. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I have a question, Mr. Chair.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Alexander, are you saying that the food prep and serving license serves as a safe serving license issued by the city of Philadelphia?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's not how it's indicated in the city's system. There are two separate issues, and Mr. Washington alluded to that. It clearly says safe serve license.
That is different license, sir. That is not issued by.
That's the question
city.
we're asking. You're saying you don't have a safe serve license, correct?
No, I have safe serve licenses.
Well, Mr.
Yes.
Washington asked that question, and you or Mr. Alexander said you did not have that. I just want to clarify.
No, that is separate. That is the separate license from Department of Philadelphia. That is different.
I just want to clarify, you have it or you don't have it,
I have it, sir.
but it's not here in the business license.
That won't be in the city portal, sir. Foods are ServSafe and ServSafe certificate is issued by National Food Standards Institute. So that is a
Through the City
prerequisite
of
to
Philadelphia
get.
Health Department.
Yeah,
Okay,
that is prerequisite to get Department of Health.
thank you. But you have it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
And if I could move on. And Mr. Shrakoti, if we can go to the third reason for the city's denial, could you read that paragraph beginning with the business?
The business was not in compliance during the food facility inspection conducted on February 24th, 2022.
Did you remedy the failures during that food facility inspection?
Yes.
Were you cited again for failing an inspection?
I didn't get the question. Come again, please.
I said, were you cited again for failing a food facility inspection?
Cited again is the yes.
I'll rephrase. Did you fail another food facility inspection?
Okay. It is not called fail. It is called corrective measures. So fail is when the hazardousness like goes beyond certain level. If they are like minor, let us say if they see minor thing, that is called corrective action. I was always under corrective action, but I was never under suspension or denial. In 17 years, I was never denied or suspended my food license nor cigarette license except this one.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
I'm reading under number 3.
Right.
The business was not in compliance during the food facility inspection conducted on February the 24th, 2022.
Correct.
That's what it states. I mean, I'm not making that up. That's what it states. So I really don't understand what that is that's being testified to at this moment.
Yeah. Mr. Palmer, I guess the issue is, did Mr. Cicotti ever have another inspection where his business was found not to be in compliance after February 24th?
Yes, and that is what I'm asking Mr. Stricotti. Was there another inspection in which you were not in compliance, Mr. Stricotti, after February 24th, 2022?
Isn't that a yes? Isn't that a yes or no question, Mr.
Yes.
Palmer?
Yes, it is. So, Mr. Stricotti, if you could just answer yes or no.
After that, I recall like
No, Mr. Stricotti, the question requires a yes or no answer.
This date.
You heard the question, correct?
Yes, sir.
What is your answer? Yes or no? You need to have the question repeated?
Yeah, can you please repeat the questions? Thank you, sir.
Was there another inspection in which you were not in compliance after February 24th, 2022?
I don't recall.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Okay, Ms. Reinhardt, Yenny Cross?
Yes. First of all, you stated earlier that the denial letters for the 2021 and 2022 tobacco retailer permit renewal applications that you made were the only denial letters that you have seen from the health department in the tobacco retailer program. Fair to say that you have not held any other tobacco retailer permit licenses in Philadelphia?
Can you please ask again clearly?
Sure. Have you had occasion that any of your tobacco retailer permits were ever denied other than for the 2021 and 2022 permit years?
No, never.
Okay, so you don't know about any information that you have that you testified regarding the city's programs regarding denial letters. Is your information on that solely based on your experience for your own license?
No, we other business owners, we talk about what happens around. We have general idea also.
Do you have any documentation of that today?
No documentation.
Okay. Do you have any documentation of possessing a food license for the year 2018?
Objection. The food license for 2018 was not stated as the basis for the denial for the 2022 tobacco retailer permit.
Well, Mr. Palmer, wait, there's an objection. Mr. Palmer, the issue that was raised by you and your client was that the licenses were, in fact, paid for and received, but just not noted on the portal. So I think that's a fair question for Ms. Reinhardt. Ms. Reinhardt?
Thank you. Let me know if you would like me to repeat the question.
Yes, please.
Do you have any documentation today of having a 2018 food license?
I do not possess right now on this seat, but I should have.
Do you have any documentation of having a 2020 food license with you today?
No, we did not receive because of like COVID thing. They said like clearly they are not gonna mail that one.
So the answer to my question is no.
No,
Do you have a 2021 food license? Documentation of it today?
2021. Twenty 2021, the same thing. 2020 and 2021, the same statement from the department. They did not mail it.
So the answer is no, you don't have documentation
That's
of
true.
actually having a 2021 food license today.
That's true. Yes.
I am going to share my screen with what was previously admitted as City Exhibit 2. Let me know when you see it on your screen.
We see it.
Okay. This is the email chain that started with the 12/11/21 email from tobacco.permit to sunoco.broad@yahoo.com. So are you familiar with this email chain?
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, you were emailing from sunoco.broad@yahoo.com?
Yes.
Okay. I am looking specifically at an email from sunocobroad@yahoo.com to tobacco.permit dated April 19th, 2022. Do you see this on your screen?
Yes.
Okay. And it specifically, the subject line says Ray Sunoco A+ Mini Mart 5017-25 N Broad Street. Is that your address and business?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to read from the second paragraph. It is our mistake that we have failed the inspections, but subsequently we fix all the failed items and have passed. My current inspection is failed because of few issues, including infrastructure, etc. For the same reason, my store is under renovation program by corporate, which is being done for major work. Excuse me. A couple of weeks ago, when we contacted for tobacco retail permit delay, for which we paid fee last December, you mentioned about dues for different licenses and food license. Now, just to pause there, are you referring to the December 2021 email that we discussed previously?
Can you please move up a little bit? I want to see the date, like, because I don't.
And could you zoom in a
Yes.
little bit, please?
There you go. Thank you.
Yes, go down please again now. We paid all the past dues, God willing, and doing everything needed to get the store. Yes.
Were you, so
Yes.
you were, so there you were referencing when it said we paid the fees last December. You mentioned dues for different licenses and food license. When you say yes, you're referring to the December 2021 email for that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to continue reading. We paid all the past dues, got food license, and doing everything needed to get this store up to date in all aspects. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go down just a little bit. We are sorry that we had dues unpaid earlier, but because of the fact during 2 years of COVID, we had tough time with employees. Myself was working long hours and was tough to keep up managerial tasks. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. So in this, you actually confirmed that you got your food license.
Yes. I was told like we got like food license. Our food license was never revoked or never blocked.
So in this email, you're not actually saying that you got the food license in response to the December email, but it just happened to be late.
No. The first of all, the in December sorry, come again, please.
So you're testifying now that what you're saying in this email is not that you paid the past due fees and got the food license at some point later in response to the December 2021 email.
You're miss, like you're framing it like later. No, food license, we got food license, not that like recently received. I already got the food license. That is in place. That's what I mean. Maybe there is cultural difference in language or whatever, but I always had food license. Interpretation is different. It is interpreting differently, actually.
This email, let me know if I should scroll in or zoom in further. This is dated April 19th, 2022, correct?
Yes.
Okay. When you say you got the food license, you're telling us now that you do not mean that you just applied for and received your food license on April 11th of 2022, meaning several days before that email was sent?
All I meant is I got the food license, means I have the food license. That's all I meant in there. Maybe you are taking like in a different meaning, at a different context, I guess.
What it appears to be is that you're saying at the time of that email is that on April 19th, 2022, at that moment you possessed a food license because you did it just a couple days before.
It is not, I'm not going into any detail. I meant I have the license at the time when I was like writing that email. If like, this is kind of like, okay.
You previously also testified that the only reason that the city is able to deny a tobacco retailer license is for selling tobacco to minors, but in fact, you know that there are other reasons, correct?
No, I do not.
Okay, you didn't just sit through a hearing just before your appeals have been heard, for which the tobacco retailer license was denied because the density cap was exceeded in the area?
I object to that. His camera was off. He was on mute. I don't know if he was watching the proceeding or not.
What
proceeding? Respect.
Wait.
Counsel
Wait.
saying he doesn't know either way.
Okay, Miss Reinhardt, are you referencing the early hearing of his case or of other cases?
I'm saying that he was logged into the case that was heard immediately before his.
So you're referencing not his previous case, but other cases.
Correct. Which he just sat through.
Okay, and in that, if I will sustain the objection, okay, so just move on from that, please.
I have no further questions at this time.
Okay, all right, thank you. Are there any questions from anyone before we call the vote on this?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have a question, please.
Yes, please.
I'd like to ask a question of Ms. Wilkins. Ms. Wilkins, when you were asked why the letter was sent on letterhead in June of 23, you said it was sent because they, SRI Corp, was suing the health department. Wasn't that your testimony?
Yeah.
And so what I want to know is, was there a formal a civil lawsuit filed by SRI Corp against the health department? Is that what you were referring to?
I would object to relevance here.
Because I need I want to understand what, I thought it was a legitimate question that Mr. Palmer asked about the process and the dates. I was confused about the dates. The justification for the date was a suit. What I want to know is if the suing is something more than an appeal, Miss SRI filing an appeal with the city of its violations and cancellation, or was there a civil lawsuit filed that prompted the letter?
Yes.
I
And
think it's a reasonable clarification of her testimony.
yeah, I would agree, overrule that objection. Ms. Wilkins, please answer.
From what I understood, it was that the corporation Surrey Petroleum Corp had made a case. I'm not certain exactly. I think it was, I don't know if it was a court common pleas or municipal court. I couldn't remember what the court was, but it was a court case for this business against the city of Philadelphia, against the health department. And one of the things that was required was that they needed an appeal letter. I mean, not appeal letter, like a official denial letter. And therefore, the denial letter was issued based on the request for them to be sent this letter as a part of their case. And so therefore, we created the letters in response to the ruling of the court. Now, what are the particular courts? I can't remember all the
No, I appreciate
details.
that. You're saying that the city prepared the letter as directed by the court. That's fine. Thank you very much.
Yes, Ms. Wilkins is nodding her head. I just need her to audibly respond.
I'm sorry, say it again.
You need to not nod your head, Ms. Wilkins. If your answer to my query is yes, then you need to say yes audibly.
Okay, yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Chairman, I'm going to ask if we might have a very brief executive session as well.
Yes. Let's go off the record for a few moments. It's okay. Ms. Robb, we're back on the record, please. We went off the record just before we were going to hear closing arguments. So we will now ask Mr. Palmer to give closing argument, and then we'll ask Ms. Reinhardt. Mr. Palmer?
Certainly. Thank you. As the board has heard, there are 3 reasons why the city has denied SRI Petroleum its 2022 tobacco retailer permit. The first being that it did not have a 2021 tobacco retailer permit. As we heard from Ms. Wilkins, the city was extremely dilatory in informing Mr. Tricoti and SRI of the denial of his 2021 permit. There was no basis for this other than, as was revealed, an action that was filed in the Court of Common Pleas, which was filed in January of 20.
Objection. I think
for my knowledge.
there is new information being said in
Yeah, Mr.
closing
Palmer.
argument.
Yeah, Mr. Palmer, your closing should be based on all the testimony, evidence that's put into the record.
And
Not adding new things.
And it's not relevant.
Okay, but I've sustained your objection. Mr. Palmer, please.
Yes. So the delays cut both ways. If Mr. Tricoti is going to be held to the same standard and diligently attempting to run his business and comply with the city code, so too should the city comply with its own regulations and informing people of their denials. Moving to the second portion, which is Mr. Tricoti's food license. It was his understanding, based upon, and the testimony revealed this, it was his understanding that he possessed the food license throughout the applicable times that he was supposed to have them while selling tobacco. This was evidenced by his understanding of the Eclipse portal and login. Additionally, Mr. Tricoti testified that he had contacted the Department of Health. He had attempted to receive a paper copy, but he was unable to do so. Moving on from that, which is the failed food inspection of February 2024 or 2023. I'm sorry, 2022. Apologize. Mr. Tricoti complied and was in compliance for all subsequent food inspections. The failure of a single inspection does not necessarily necessitate the revocation of his tobacco retailer permit for the entirety of the year, especially when coupled with no subsequent failures. And for that reason, I would ask the board reinstate his 2022 tobacco retailer permit.
Ms. Reinhardt?
Thank you. I am going to, first of all, plaintiff is not, or the business is not eligible for renewal for the 2022 tobacco retailer permit renewal because it did not have a valid 2021 tobacco retailer permit. There's nothing to renew here. If that was the only reason provided by the city in order to deny the 2022 permit, that's sufficient. But we can continue moving on. I think that the board understands that the business did not possess a valid food license as of December 26th, 2021. We went through the application dates and the renewal date, the expiration dates. We lined up all of the years and we went all the way back to 2017 and we came all the way to current in order to give the full scope of the years that the business did have a valid food license and when it did not. It did not have a valid food license in 2021 or 2022 until April 11th, 2022, which is well after the courtesy deadline, because really the city did not need to send the December 11th, 2021 email notifying the business that it needed to get a valid permit, a valid food permit. But it did it anyway and provided an additional 15 calendar days to correct the issue. It was not corrected within the 15 calendar days. And in fact, it was not corrected until after the email notification sent that the permit was already denied. Bless you.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
I'm going to share on my screen City's Exhibit 5. This is, let me know if you are able to see this.
Yes.
Okay. This is Philadelphia Code Section 9631 governing the tobacco retailer permit. Specifically, in 9632 C5, the tobacco retailer permit is required in order to sell tobacco within the city. A tobacco retailer permit may only be issued when the applicant currently maintains a valid commercial activity license and any other license or permit required under this title. Because the Sunoco gas station chose to sell food, they needed a food license and did not have a valid food license at the time of the permit renewal consideration. And just to close that loop, under 3B, it governs renewal for any person lawfully issued a tobacco retailer permit issued to the provisions of this section shall be entitled to renew such permit, provided that all the requirements of this section and any other applicable requirements are met. And going down to point 2, applicants for renewal shall meet the requirements for tobacco retailer permit set forth under subsection 2, which was what was referenced at the beginning of this argument. As you saw, the business failed the February 24th, 2022 food inspection. I think that speaks for itself. The business had notice in early 2022 of the denial decision, specifically that it was not eligible for a permit. It was even given warning to correct the issues and a courtesy 15 days in order to correct them, and chose not to do so in that time. And respectfully, the reliance on the portal reading as of June of 2023 in order to say what food permits were active going back several years is not an accurate reflection of the historical status of the licenses, illustrated just simply by the fact that we showed you a 2017 license that wasn't on there. This was meant to be a very summary snapshot of what the current status is, and is not meant to be fully detailed going back into the past several years in order to show what the status was at each and every permit year going backward. I would also just like to show City Exhibit 6. This is Philadelphia Code 9102 governing license and permits. The city is constrained by all of the regulations regarding licenses and permits generally for this permit as well. Special exceptions are not made for eligibility based on when a denial letter is sent. Finally, City Exhibit 7. This is the public hearing report and revised regulation relating to tobacco retailing. Again, there are extensive regulations that the health department must follow in order to issue these tobacco retailer permits and to enforce the tobacco program. There is significantly more that a permit holder must do in order to maintain their permit than simply not sell tobacco to children. I think that testimony speaks for itself, that it was an oversimplification, and that oversimplification has happened time and time again in the record of the communications and the business's understanding at each snapshot in time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now call to vote on HA-2023-002969, 5017-5025 Broad Street, SRI Petroleum Corporation, City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
Thank you very much. Unanimous vote is city affirmed. Of course, this decision by the board is appealable to the Court of Common Pleas. Mr. Palmer, thank you very much for your participation. And Mr. Siccardi, thank you very much. Everyone is excused. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to the next matter.
Case number 20, hearing appeal HA 2022-002082, 5350 Ogons Ave. Craig Geyer, doing business as Geyer Construction LLC.
Okay, who's representing the city?
Good afternoon, members of the board. Sorry for the appearance. It's dark out and my light is behind me, so I'm either really bright as a ghost or you can't see me at all.
I hear your voice, but I don't see you at all. So you represent the city in this matter, this number?
Yes.
Okay, number
Right.
20. Okay, who's representing the appellant? Is it Marvin Haber Esquire available?
I do not see him present. Yesterday, we submitted documents to the board. I included Mr. Haber on those that email, which is the email that was that actually I was able to find for his law firm.
Okay. Well,
This is the fourth listing. Service was made every time.
okay,
the
so
city
what is your
would-
preference?
City would ask that the appeal be dismissed for failing to appear.
Okay, Mr. Pincus, what time do you have?
5:29 p.m.
5:29 p.m. Okay, thank you very much. We will poll the board on HA-2022-002082, 5350 Ogons Avenue. Craig Geyer, doing business as Geyer Construction LLC. City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for failure to appear.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That resolves that matter. What else do we have, Mr. Wade?
The last case, case number 26, hearing appeal HA 2023-002203, 2423 North 7th Street, JPL Construction. This case was continued for counsel on 9/14. Service was made. I don't see anyone in the waiting room.
Who's representing the city?
Good evening, board. Dejani Davis on behalf of the city of Philadelphia.
Okay, thank you. Anyone present representing JPL Construction, Inc.?
There's a note there, Sarah Pillmore is connecting, but I don't know what that name has to do with any matter. Might be this one.
Okay, Ms. Davis, have you had any conversations with the legal counsel for this matter?
No, the last time I even communicated with appellant was at the prior hearing when they informed me that they did not have counsel, and this matter will be continued to allow them to have counsel.
Okay, do you know if this name Sarah Pillmore is associated with this case at all?
No, I do not.
Okay. Mr. Wade, any way to determine who this Sarah Pillmore happens to be?
I do not know. They've been on since the beginning and they have never connected. So they could have just connected.
Okay.
They could have been an observer, but I don't recognize the name from the previous hearing.
Okay. Ms. Davis, what's your preference?
The city will be requesting city affirm due to failure to appear.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Wade, would you just go on the record in terms of service, please?
Yes, service was made.
Service was made. Okay, Mr. Pincus, what time do you have?
I have 5:31 p.m.
5:31 p.m. Alrighty. We will now poll the board regarding HA-2023 -002203 2423 North 7th Street, JPL Construction, Inc. City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
All right. Thank you very much. I think that disposes of that matter.
Yes, thank you, board.
Is Mr. Figueroa your inspector, your
Yes,
witness?
he is. Yes.
Okay, Mr. Figueroa, have a good evening.
Have a good evening, everyone.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any other matters?
All right.
Mr. Tennant, you're muted if you had something you needed to add.
No, I don't have anything. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. If there's nothing else from anyone, we will.
Mr. Chairman, can we go into a quick executive session?
Yeah.
I just have a question.
Yes, sir. Okay, well, we'll go into executive session, but that ends our public session for today. Thank you very much.
Good night, Miss Rob.
Good night.
Hi, Miss Rob.
Okay, breakout room.
Good night. I have to say good night.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Please don't accuse me of that, Roger.
Oh boy, oh boy.
A cocktail.
Mr. Petty, what do you got for us?
I got a quick question. Now that there's a new mayor, this
Yep.
is the first time I've ever been on a board.
Oh,
So-
well,
Yes.
well,
Do
let's
we
see. Let me put it this way. If it's done properly, you should get a phone call from someone in that mayor's organization that will say to you, we're going to replace you. Now,
Okay.
the last couple of times around, I didn't hear from anybody. We had several vacancies, so other people were appointed, and we had to keep telling them, look, you got to get somebody appointed. And so I'm not certain what to expect.
May I?
Yes, sir.
I've seen something today afterwards, went to her particular website, and they were soliciting if you wanted to be a part of the team.
Okay.
So I just further went through and looked at it, and it went through selection, whether you wanted to be in her cabinet and a deputy. But down the bottom, the last one was boards and commissions.
Okay.
So you could select and full-time, part-time, all that. I don't know what that means for whether they're trying to get new boards or existing boards. I just was looking through since it was
Yeah.
there.
I mean, and those things tend to exist for every transition.
Right.
And
Well,
they,
one of the things we must remember
yeah,
is she really just named her transition team today.
she did. Okay.
And so with her naming her transition team, and if we all remember, there are spots open on the board.
Right.
And I mean, I am not a lazy guy. But I tell you what, if other folks want to come on and help, I am not against that.
Yeah, each of us should decide if you want to be engaged going forward. I would recommend that you talk to whoever you talk to regarding the process. Don't rely on the portal that was just identified.
Right.
You may want to do that, but I wouldn't rely on that because decisions are being made outside of that.
Yes.
Decisions are being made already. So, but if you want to serve, give your people a call and say, "Hey, look." And the other reality of it is that each of us was appointed at a particular time for a particular reason, and so we are known to the administration. You're known to the administration, and they will know who you are within the next couple of days if they don't know you now. And so you may get phone calls. So I don't have a good answer for you, Steve.
Yes, I really think we do a great job. I mean,
oh yeah.
Steve, you were on the board before Kenny was mayor, weren't you?
No.
Oh.
No, I was, but Steve wasn't.
Yeah, so you're the only old timer.
I guess.
I'm a Kenny appointee.
We're all Kenny.
So what's nothing you was with Nutter?
Yeah, at the end of Nutter's term.
At the end of Nutter's term, you know.
Yeah. So
I just think we do a great job. And,
well, I want to reappoint you, Steve.
Well, that's why I say
reappoint everybody else first.
Yeah, I would say to you, if you have relationships, and most of us have relationships of one sort or another, to have conversations with people. And I would certainly, in anything I say to people, will be an endorsement of all of you. I'm really appreciative of the work that you put in, and that your commitment to this process. And so when you're receiving my emails at midnight, sometimes I wonder myself, do I want to do this anymore? But the point is, it's important. I feel important that the citizen gets a proper opportunity to argue their case, and that this is one of the few times I can be part of these kinds of situations where you didn't have somebody putting a thumb on the scale.
But you know what, Mr.
Yeah, I never had.
I got to say this.
Right.
I'm looking at these gun charges and all that stuff. I really think we can make a difference.
Oh yeah, we have to.
You know, I think that we can, whether they pay us any attention or not, but we see the weaknesses and the holes and all, and we, from just looking at that and having our little sessions, we should be able to suggest things that can plug these holes.
Right.
Because this stuff is outrageous.
Yeah.
You know, and it's too wide open. I hear about the Second Amendment rights, but they have absolutely nothing now that it has nothing to do with Philadelphia anymore.
Well, you make a good point.
It's coming out of Harrisburg.
Yeah. Yep. At the moment, you're right. And so I would encourage all of you to seek to be reappointed. I would encourage you to do that. I would ask you to do that. If you have any second thoughts, please do that. Because you have honorable individuals. You have or argued positions on matters. We don't have to always agree. That's not my concern. But I can believe that you're being honest and forthright in your arguments. That's what is important to me. I ain't got to worry about what somebody's playing fast and loose behind my back as the chairperson.
Right.
I don't have to have. That's not one worry I have. So I would ask you to consider being reappointed, and to stay in the fight, if you can. Now, if you get promoted to something big that has extra payment, let me know. Let me know. My wife is looking at me cross-eyed now. 2 days. Oh man, I'm supposed to be retired. Any other comment or suggestion or idea?
No. So right now, all we have is firearms next week.
Yes, we have one case on the 20th, one session on the 28th. No, I'm sorry, on the 21st. 21st.
No.
I got something on the 14th.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm looking at my calendar wrong. You're right. The 14th, the 21st, and the 28th. Right, the 14th.
Yeah. Well, I'm staying on the board. I get to hear what's going on in the East Mount area, and I love it.
But I got one more question.
Yes, sir.
Did we have something that they tried to throw on the schedule
Yeah, that's
But
December
later on this
21st.
month, is that
December
December.
21st.
Yeah, December.
Okay.
Because
I didn't write that down.
yeah, Ralph paid the bill, so Zoom is back up.
Yeah.
So,
You know, the city wants us to hear a case. You brought on regarding what I think it's a community center on 2100 Diamond Street.
2100 Diamond.
Am I right? Isn't that the address? Diamond Street. It's they
Only
want to
thing is the
replace
church.
it. It's an appeal, I think, from the historical commission again, and it's the replacement of a community center.
21st and Diamond? That's no community.
No, that's the church.
That's the church, yeah. It's,
No, no,
it's
well,
probably pretty beat up now.
Well, it's on Diamond Street, I think, and it's a community center, and it's an appeal from the historical commission. And Len Reuter wrote us an email saying that he agrees it should be heard as an emergency appeal.
I haven't
Well,
seen
let
it
me
yet.
say this. Let me say this.
I haven't seen it
That's
yet.
where I was born and raised at.
Uh-huh.
I was
Am I-
born
is
and
the
raised at
address-
29th Diamond. Everything on Diamond Street
It's historical.
is historical.
All right, so there's
Down
some
that end of Diamond Street is the brownstone.
Yeah.
Well, so
They have all
the
the
issue.
brownstones down there.
Well, the issue is, to me at least, is the city is saying we should hear the case as an emergency appeal because there's an emergency need to replace the existing facility.
Yeah, that doesn't fit the emergency criteria that we currently
Well,
have.
that's my
If
concern.
I'm right, and it's the old Jones Tabernacle AME Church.
That's what it is.
And
That's
what
it.
it is, and I'm AME, and we sold that church to a developer from New York. Don't get me started with that. But their front portion in the lobby, all that area, their vestibule, is on the National Historical Site. And they vowed to tear down and build apartments, but they want to keep that portion of the vestibule so they continue to get funding from the federal government for the upkeep.
Okay.
Now, if they have changed on that, I don't know, but they're very shaky because they canceled our settlement meeting with them last year, and what they did was say that they canceled it, the in-person, because they wanted to do a Zoom, and the cancellation came on a Wednesday for the Thursday in person. And so we said, okay, fine, we'll meet with you on that following Tuesday. But over the weekend, someone came in and stole all the stained glass windows.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The community, I guess my only question is this, they asked, the appeal was filed June 1st by the Third Ward RCO, and the city is agreeing that it should be heard as an emergency appeal. And the issue is-
What ward you said? What ward? Because that's the 32nd ward.
Judith, it says 2100 West Diamond Street. Appellant's name Judith Robinson,
Yeah, this is
32nd
Judith.
Ward RCO.
32nd Ward, yeah.
12 North Woodstock Street.
Yeah.
And they've appealed the decision that was sent to Mr. Modesto Bigas Valadon. And that's sent by the historical commission. And I don't have any trouble with trying to do the right thing, but this is the second case because the other case was the one.
I gotta say this, you're going to see that name and that organization come up again under the Henry O. Tanner House.
Okay.
She's one of the driving forces behind it. Miss Judith been there. She was part of Father Paul Washington's team.
Okay. Okay.
So she wants to
Can I
preserve
interrupt
the world.
everyone and just ask when this email from Leonard came in, because I don't see it.
I saw an email. Wait a minute. I think I have
While
it.
you're looking for it, I can tell
I
you
have
that
it.
there was some water damage to that.
Okay.
That's
Mr.
the-
McSherry has it. Mr. McSherry has it.
It came in on the 1st, Wednesday, the 1st
of November.
Of November, correct.
From Leonard directed to whom?
that was directed to myself and to board administration, and I believe it was
It
then
was forwarded to us by Sherelle.
And I
Sherelle,
didn't
that-
respond to her because I don't recall. I think I responded no because I have to look again.
I don't know that there was a response, but the above captioned appeal is from, this is Len Reuter, is from a decision of the Historical Commission. The design of the center needs to be resolved in order for the proposed project to proceed. The city seeking a variances for the project at the ZBA. The city respectfully requests that the board accept this request to be expedited to the earliest possible hearing.
That's an see, that's that the law department does it sometimes. They ask for expedited, not emergency.
No, well, expedited hearing. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's asking for an expedited.
So that wouldn't have come to me. That's just a scheduling
Yeah.
issue with Sherelle.
Okay.
Can you send that to me? I don't see it. I haven't found it yet either.
Could you send it out to me, to Mr. McSherry?
It's sent to everyone.
Hold on. Yes.
Yeah, I can't seem to find it. I'm like, Miss Penn, I don't.
Okay. So
11/1/23 at 12:37. You're right. Thank you, Mr. Woodson, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. So we won't weigh in on that. That's just a scheduling issue between.
Okay, it's not an emergency.
No,
Thank
it's
you.
expedited. Yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah, no, they've attempted to send me expedited language before and I rejected it. So look, it has to be an emergency based on the criteria. Because then we get into this whole thing, they start playing games with it and we start skipping people in line unfairly.
I'm not sure if Mr. Reuter understands there to be a difference between expedited and emergency, because he did attach the emergency hearing appeal application to.
Oh, he did?
He did, okay.
I think it's a matter of, I don't think he considers there to be a difference in.
Well, if you want to
regard
get reappointed, Mr. Woodson, you better agree with what the city's asking for.
Hey, listen, good night. That's the first time, the last time I'll ask for executive session. Good night.
Oh Lord! Well, let me take a close look at it, see and call the mayor. Maybe I can have a meeting.
Yeah, I see it now.
Okay, thank you, everyone. I'll
Good
I'll
night.
look for it. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good
Good night, everyone.